In the Lone Star State, legends are born at Texas Bowls. Since 2000, 2 teams have won it all twice. Katy, a traditional powerhouse, has notched 2 state titles. Southlake Carroll also has 2 titles. The Dragons, a 62-1 record over the past 4 seasons. The Tigers are the only team to defeat them during their Texas-sized streak. Only halfway through the decade, and these 2 teams stand at a crossroads. Who will be the team of the decade? What name will go down in Lone Star lore? You know what they say about everything in Texas. Well, this is as big as it gets. The Texas Bowl. The veterans, even on a high school level, know that this is a game that they will never forget, and one people have been looking forward to for a long, long time. It's the Katy Tigers and the Southlake Carroll Dragons, the 5A Division II Texas Bowl. Hi, everybody. I'm Kevin Eschenfelder alongside Shay Walker. We've been looking forward to it for a long time to come, and it's one of those games I think people are going to be talking about for a long time to come as well. You got a couple of traditional powerhouses, and they've been on this stage before.
Well, Kevin, it is an absolute matchup between the number 1 and the number 2 team in the state, the number 1 team and the number 10 team in the nation, locking horns today to do battle. And this is 2 heavyweights, 2 colossal programs going at it today for the state title.
You talk about Katy Tigers, and you know, in the years past, this was that traditional between the tackles, just grind it out on you type of an offense. But today, they are a very balanced attack, and a big reason for that is Andy Dalton, their quarterback.
Well, Andy Dalton is one of those kind of kids that the coaches found out about in the spring. Coach Gerald Brixke, offensive coordinator, was talking about how he really didn't know how good he could be, an extremely accurate passer, and he has really put up some huge numbers, over 2,600 yards, and you see the touchdown total there at 41, obviously a school record for Katy. And when he goes to the air and he looks at Michael Fuda, this young man has caught over 52 passes, averages over 25 yards a reception, 20 touchdowns, and then Brandon King is a dual threat out of the backfield, a big slashing running back, and he can also work on you on the ground.
If you follow high school football in this state, no doubt you know or heard about the Southlake Carroll Dragon offense. The 4th consecutive year in which a Southlake quarterback has been named the 5A Offensive Player of the Year. Greg McElroy's the man this season.
Well, Greg McElroy is just stepping in and filling the shoes of Chase Daniel and Chase Wasson before him. And look at the numbers there. They're just absolutely staggering. Over 4,000 yards passing. And he has just been a tremendous asset to the team. He's one of those kind of kids where you talk to Coach Todd Dodge at the beginning and says, look, he was a 7th and 8th and 9th grade B-team quarterback. He stuck it out. He worked hard. He's earned the right to be here. And obviously results show it. Now, when he goes to the air, McKay Jacobson, one of the most sure-handed receivers in the state of Texas. And oh, by the way, in the backfield, you got a young sophomore who's absolutely electric, and that's Trey Newton, filling in for Aaron Luna, who graduated last season. Trey Newton stepping in as a sophomore and has just put up huge numbers.
Yeah, the key word, sophomore. Todd Dodge tells us this kid is destined to be one of the elite running backs in the state of Texas. You know, we all talk about the offense up here, but the defenses could be the difference in this ballgame. For more on that, let's head to the sideline. Here's Rick Renner.
Guys, it's kind of like Christmas early. You got the Carroll green and the Katy red. You think these guys are ready for the game right here? It's interesting. You talk about the offenses, but you know what? The best offense today may be defense. All the coaches coming into this one have talked about how underrated their defenses are. They hit you, they're physical, they're around the football, and they'll get you. Guys to watch in this one for Katy, number 20, Will the Thrill Thompson. You probably remember Will the Thrill in that 2003 Katy National State Championship game. He was unbelievable. He had the big interception at the end of the game to seal the victory over Southlake Carroll. The Dragons only lost out of 63 games in 5A. That guy has scored as a receiver, on a punt return, and on an interception. Now for Southlake Carroll, a guy to watch is Patrick Benoit. I know you want to talk about all the guys up front, the big guys like Boydston, but this guy is a lot like Dad Wynn. win is here Sundays for the Dallas Cowboys in the past. This guy can flat out hit you. He's around the football at all times. He's had 95 tackles, 12 of them for losses. Coming up next, it's undefeated against undefeated. The #1 team in the land and the #10 team in the land. Somebody's all must go. The Texas Bowl. It's on the line next on FSN.
A crowd of up to 40,000 expected today at Texas Stadium. Southlake Carroll Dragons making about a 20-minute drive over to their home park for this one. And, of course, the Katy Tigers making about a 4-hour drive from the Houston area. And there you see Gary Joseph, a man who, we talk about earning your spot. 24 years he spent as an assistant coach under Ken Johnston before him as their defensive coordinator. And there you see the road to the Texas Bowl for the Katy Tigers. The Cy Falls game in which they won 32-28. In that one, this team trailed by 11 points with 4 minutes left in the game and were able to come back and take care of business. They knock off Smithson Valley. They hold on last week after taking a 14-0 lead. And the Katy Tigers playing in the Texas Bowl with a 14-0 record. They have outscored their opponents 38-13 in the playoffs. Southlake Carroll Dragons, they have rolled through. As you take a look at Todd Dodge in his 6th season, 81 wins, just 11 losses since taking over the program at Southlake Carroll. And you see what they have done. It started off with a big win over Irving MacArthur, and they have rolled since then. 46-18 was their average score, knocking off Lufkin last week in a slugfest, 46-28. This is a team that averaged 50 points per game this season. Well, Southlake Carroll and Katy. Last time these two teams met was the last time that those young men tasted defeat. The 2003 5A Division II Texas Bowl, when Katy was able to knock off Southlake Carroll in that one in a close game, 16-15, I should say, and that is the last time that Carroll has lost. They have gone 62-1 in the last 4 seasons. Just simply amazing.
Well, Kevin, you talk about it too at the Open. Both of these teams are definitely battle tested. The Cy Falls game for Katy, they had to come down from actually 18 points, and as you said, trailing by 11 late in the 4th quarter. Able to come up with a block punt and throw a touchdown pass with 31 seconds left on the clock to even make it to the semifinals. And you can look at Southlake Carroll. Their last 2 games, Plano and Lufkin, trailed by double digits in those games at a couple of different times. So both of these teams, heavyweight, championship-style teams, deserve to be here, but both of them have had to come from behind in the last couple of weeks to even make it to this ball game.
Well, Katy won the toss. They have deferred their decision to the second half. So the Southlake Carroll offense will get the football to start the 5A Division II Texas Bowl here in 2005 as McKay Jacobson and Anthony Ford go back deep for the Dragons. A big crowd expected. When the tournament was set, a lot of people pointed to these two teams. And those who did are getting what they've been looking for. Darren Konishek to kick it away. And we are underway. Short return by Fentress as he takes it up to the 20-yard line, and great coverage for the Katy Tigers as it was Morris Arnold getting the job done. Just a 12-yard return. And there you see Todd Dodge. Take a look. They will not huddle here as you say. Greg McElroy, 4,281 yards, 52 touchdowns, and just 9 interceptions, and a big reason for his success are these big guys up front. Michael Prince leading the way today, named first-team All-State. Drescher on that left side, Buford in the middle at center, and Stacy and Chris Swanson on the right side. So on 1st down and 10, first play of the 5A Division II Texas Bowl, and they hand it off to Trey Newton. Newton with a little bit of room to run, but this is a very, very good defense for the Katy Tigers. A defense that really will get after you. Morris Arnold there to make that stop. As you see that defensive tackle right up there in the front, Miller, Kirshner, and Burkhalter in a 3-4 front. The 4 backers, Swernman, Williams, Miller, and Arnold, who just made that stop. And there you see the secondary. A secondary that's been going to be tested today, that is for sure. If that is enough for a first down, it's That's what they will do to you. You're going to add some more to this, and whether or not the face mask is a personal foul or incidental is just a matter of the judgment here. But certainly Corbin Smider had his face mask grabbed. It is a personal foul.
That's the big one, Kevin, after he picks up the first down. But you talk about that's what they do. This Southlake Carroll offense is a high-pressure offense. They do not let up. We talk about them being in the no huddle. They're at the line of scrimmage. They get the play call from the sideline, who gets the play call from upstairs, and then they make side adjustments and change it. And you'll see them do that all ball game. But certainly a big penalty early in this ball game going against Katy.
Yeah, that was Terrence Henry.
Face mask by the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, Terrence Henry, just a sophomore. And a 15-yard penalty. And take a look at these numbers, averaging 49 points per game, 322 yards passing, while there you've got the Tigers allowing just 11 points and 89 yards passing on the season. So what a matchup this should be. Fake the handoff. McElroy will keep it. You'll see him do this a lot. And he is absolutely stuck by Morris Arnold. This is a guy who moved from the third string on the depth chart at safety to linebacker, and look at the pop he puts on him here.
Well, this is a design run by McElroy, who comes in almost 700 yards rushing, but Morris Arnold having none of it. And boy, what a great job of staying at home, playing his responsibility, not chasing the play fake, and stopping McElroy for a very short game.
Coaches say this kid has an unbelievably high football IQ. He figured that one out in a hurry. McElroy wants to throw. Does throw, and it's complete. Enough for the first down. A sliding catch made by McKay Jacobson, and the Dragon offense is clicking.
Well, Kevin, here's watch the throw that we get here from McElroy. Gets good protection up front. You're going to see that. But look at the route. The route is going to come out here, and it's going to be a deep out. And look at the arm strength of McElroy to throw it out here. I'm sorry, it's the inside receiver, Jacobson. Watch as he comes over. He throws that ball perfectly where only Jacobson can get to it, and he slides down and makes the catch.
That is a lot of ground to cover. Hand it off to Newton. Newton spins off one man. Down to the 20, to the 15, and down near the 10-yard line. A big run of 26 yards by Trey Newton. The Tournament finally saved a touchdown.
I want to talk about why he's special. Watch this in the hole. He gets hit right at the point of attack by Garrett Milner. Garrett had played that ball perfectly, or played it exactly like you're supposed to do, but Trey Newton, only a sophomore, how special is he, running through the arm tackle and then doing the rest using those feet. That was a tremendous run by the sophomore.
So it is first down and 10. Take a look at Trey Newton. Father played in the NFL. Nate Newton had two uncles to play in the NFL as well. He'll try it again. Newton up the middle and down to the 6-yard line. Burkhalter there to make the stop. Taylor Burkhalter, 6'2", 225, a senior.
Kevin, when we talk about Trey Newton, keep in mind the kid is only 15 years old, a sophomore in high school, and earlier in the year he took a big shot against Denton Ryan in a Thursday night ball game. He left that game after only 7 carries, and then he missed the next 2 weeks, but he has certainly come back and running the football extremely well.
McElroy throws the quick slant, touchdown. Corbin Smider beat his man to the inside, and it's 6-0 Southlake Carroll.
Well, you saw the play call, and then you saw the change of the play at the line of scrimmage. Corbin Smider at 6'3", going against Terrence Henry, only 5'9". He runs the slant route to the inside, and he gets that big 6'3" frame in front of the smaller defender, and there's absolutely no way Terrence Henry can come around over the top and knock that football away.
Ryan Murray to convert the extra point. And he's good. It didn't take long. But then again, the Southlake Carroll fans are used to that. Katy will try to answer when we come back. Well, Southlake Carroll starts this game out with a 79-yard drive, and How impressive was that? They strike quickly.
Well, it's a really nice job of Corbin Smider. Now take a look as he comes off the line of scrimmage. He's going to make a little bit of an out move. Stop it right there, guys. See how he gets the cornerback turn, the feeder turn. There's no way now that Terrence Henry can keep up with him as he's going to continue on the skinny post and use that big 6'3" frame to wall off the defender. That's an easy pitch and catch for the first score of the ball game.
Corbin Smider, his 12th touchdown catch of the season, capped a 7-play, 79-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 42 seconds.
Well, Kevin, we're almost in the Groundhog Day territory, because in the 2003 football game, this is exactly how it started. Southlake Carroll took the ball offensively. They scored a touchdown on their first possession. I think they did it on the third play of that game. But now, so Katy and that coaching staff, believe me, they're over there coaching those guys up and saying, hey, guys, we've been here before. Don't sweat it. Let's just get the ball and let's do what we do.
And Murray kicking it away. Will Thompson from the 2-yard line. And brings it out to the 24, where the Katy Tigers will get the football for the first time tonight. Well, and Andy Dalton leading them out. 41 touchdown passes. He's thrown just 11 picks while passing for 2,600 yards and completing 65% of his passes. Those big guys up front, Ferris, Aludo, Lepaski, Welch, and Straka on the right side. They go quick and strong, so they will flip-flop. There you see Brandon King, the leading rusher, 1,389 yards, and Michael Fuda, the leading receiver for this Katy Tiger offense. Play action for Dalton, and he throws it, and it's complete. Fuda with the catch, and a good way to start for the Tigers. Scott Simpson had the coverage there, and that's going to be a good matchup to keep an eye on all day. Defensively, Michael Boydston, another young man named to the first-team All-State team earlier. Keep an eye on big number 75. The same you could say for Patrick Benoit, Padron, and Reese. 3 very active linebackers. Winsett and Simpson is their cover guy. Ashlock is the safety along with Joseph Agnew. Pitch it back. And cutting across the grain and out near the 40-yard line. It's a decent gain on first down. Benoit was there to make the tackle on Brandon King. And King, they talked about how great his vision is, and you really kind of saw it here.
Well, it was a nice job, and really we've not had an opportunity to really see the Katy Tigers in person, Kevin. And Gerald Bricks, the offensive coordinator, was talking about the vision that Brandon King has, and you saw a great example of that and how quick he makes that decision. He's able to pick up positive yards on a play that Southlake Carroll had defensed fairly well.
This is an offense that starts 10 seniors and 1 junior. King up the middle, has a hole to midfield and inside Southlake Carroll territory, down to the 48-yard line.
Also talking about one of the strings of Katy, the offensive line. Watch how they pull and get the nice lead kick-out block on Boydston. That's big number 76. That's Jacob Strahaka, who does the nice job of pulling out and walls off Boydston, and that really created a big running lane there for King.
Well, Straka 6'2", 285. The big offensive line on that right side. He and Joey Welch go 280 and 285. Pitch it back again, King, and King cutting back, but this time the defense is up to the task. It didn't go far. Adam Powers and Michael Boydston in there as well. Now, this is a high-powered Katy offense as well, and a very, very good Southlake Carroll defense, a defense that's allowing just 15, make it 16 points per game. But look what Katy has been able to do. 216 yards on the ground and nearly 200 yards passing as they average 40 points per game. Tigers facing a 2nd down and 9. Brian King again, and there's nothing doing. Patrick Benoit, the first-team All-Stater, was right there to make the play.
But he just came crashing in from that outside linebacker position, and he beats the block of the offensive lineman trying to come around and get him. Having nothing to do with that, he's able to bring King down for the loss. And we talked about Benoit at the outset, Kevin, how active he is and how aggressively he plays that weak side linebacker position.
That's a loss of 4, so it'll be 3rd down and 13. from the gun. Plenty of time. Guns it, knocked away. Justin Padron got a hand on the football, and Katy will be in a position where they have to punt.
Well, he was trying to get the ball in the middle crossing route. Looked like that was Will Thompson, who will play offense on this Katy team as well. And as he's going down, Padron does a nice job of dropping, reading the quarterback's eyes, just getting his hand on the football because the wide receiver was open, would have been a first down. Padron played that perfectly in deflecting the pass. Only a junior.
Dorr to punt it. Ryan Dorr. End over end kick taken by Jacobson at the 15-yard line, and great coverage. That's about as good as you can cover a punt by Trent Hunter. So good coverage, and Southlake Carroll with the lead. And the football back a long way away, though. They'll start from the 15.
Welcome back to Texas Stadium. Southlake Carroll up 7-0 on the Katy Tigers. Here's a Katy legend right here, Coach Mike Johnston. And, you know, it's interesting to me. You've won 2 titles. The last time you played these guys, you remember a game where they came out and scored early on you. So, I mean, what do you say to coach those guys up over there?
Oh, we'll be all right. We just got to settle down. Southlake had a great opening drive and put it in. And we got some guys got a little anxious a while ago on their first offensive possession, but we did move the ball. But we're going to have to play a little bit better as a unit right now. But we'll settle down. We'll be fine.
You're like royalty in the Katy family. What are you doing sitting up here way up in the end zone?
Well, I like to get up here away from people like y'all so I can watch a ball game, enjoy the ball game.
What do you think about the job Gary Joseph's done?
Remarkable job. Took them quarterfinals last year. Here they are undefeated this year playing for the state championship. He was the perfect guy to take my place at Katy High. He and his staff have done a great job. I'm real proud of the kids.
Thank you, Coach Johnston. Now back up to Kevin up in the booth.
All right, thanks, Rick. Mike Johnston. Well, you ask him a question, he'll give you an honest answer.
I don't think Rick's on the Christmas card list for Coach Johnston.
Taylor Burkhalter making that tackle on Trey Newton, who took it ahead for a minimal gain. In fact, they just do move the first down marker. It's barely gained a yard. It's going to be second down and a long 9.
Kevin, you know, Coach Johnston is one of those guys that you can see the blood still runs thick, and he's very competitive and passionate about the game. He wants to be where he can watch the game and enjoy it.
Flush the pocket to the right. McElroy wants to keep it and picks up 5 as he falls out to the 20-yard line. Ryan Williams in hot pursuit, the inside linebacker, big hitter on this Katy Tiger team, along with Matt Montgomery there to make that stop.
Well, you're going to see the pressure come off the weak side of the formation, and that's what's going to flush McElroy. But really, downfield, the Katy defenders have excellent coverage on all the wide receivers. Nobody was open, so McElroy wisely took the ball, gave himself a third and about 5 yards.
Third down, long 4. McElroy throws this one to Newton, and Newton is hit immediately. Once again, Morris Arnold.
Might have even lost a yard or 2 on that one.
He and Matt Montgomery, but Arnold got there in a hurry.
As defensive coordinator Greg Miller was talking to us about assignment-based football, and that's what Katy had to do in today's ball game against this high-octane offense of Southlake, and did a great job right there of forcing the punt.
Ball's going. Will Thompson back deep, and Thompson calls for the fair catch and makes it. So the Tigers with outstanding field position after a 29-yard punt. They will have the football at the 48-yard line. And boy, this is one of those situations where last time these two teams got together in 2003, you said it a moment ago, alluded to it just a moment ago, is that Southlake Carroll scored on the 3rd play of the game. And then really, Todd Dodge said not complacent may be the wrong word, but maybe kind of lost to the edge after that. And that's something obviously they're going to have to try to guard against here today.
Yeah, well, they had gone after a big blowout win before. The year before, they thought the same thing was going to happen. This Katy team had no quit in them and obviously came back to be one of the classic matchups.
Dalton rolls the pocket left, throws downfield. Good coverage. Boy, Scott Simpson step for step and all over Michael Fuda. That as well as you can defend it. There you see Dalton
We're talking about Fuda, though. He is the wide receiver who averages 25 yards a catch. He ran the out and up. You see it there in the bottom of the screen as he makes the outcut. And Scott Simpson just had tremendous coverage. Katy going for a home run ball after getting good field position, but Scott Simpson was definitely up to the task.
So it's 2nd down and 10. Andre Dean is checked in. Tailback spot. Quick 3-step drop. Complete to Fuda, shakes off one man and picks up an extra yard and a half. Benoit and Simpson there to make that stop. But Fuda, 52 catches. He averages 25 yards per reception. This is a very big play offense. They've had some huge scoring plays.
Well, they have. And you know what, Kevin? We heard this from Gerald Brixey that they talked about how accurate Andy Dalton threw the football. I'm telling you, we have seen him now throw 4 or 5 passes, and those balls are pinpoint, tight spirals, and exactly where he wants the football. So I'll tell you what, he is as advertised.
And the incompletion he threw was intentionally incomplete because of great coverage. There you see Dean right up the middle, and Andre Dean is going to be short of the first down. So more than likely, you're looking at 4-down territory here as the ball just inside the 40-yard line. Adam Powers, who was the final man in the green jersey to stop him from picking up any more real estate. Well, it's going to be 4th down. It's going to be longer than I thought. It'll be 4th down in about 1.5 yards. So the decision has been made by Gary Joseph. And he says, let's send the punt team on.
Well, after your defense held this Carroll offense to a 3-and-out starting from their own 15-yard line, he'd like to continue to play this battle for field position and see if he can't pin the Carroll offense even deeper.
Ryan Dorr in to punt it away. Fentress back deep along with McKay Jacobson. Hits it high, and the fair catch is taken by McKay Jacobson, and he takes it at the 15-yard line. Now, like we said, last time these two teams got together, the last time Southlake Carroll lost a football game, they've gone 62-1 in the last 4 years. And it got started like this. Aaron Luna with a 3-yard run. Southlake Carroll was up 15-9, but of course, Katy was not done. Ben Johnson, the 51-yard pass to Ryan Mouton, and that made it 16-15, and this would seal the deal. Young man that's on the field today, Will Thompson, and what a play it was. The interception for the then sophomore, and that did it. It's the agony of defeat for those guys, and Mike Johnson coaching in his final game as Mike Johnston left a state champion. Coaching his final game at Katy, I should say. That one is incomplete. That's a tough play, and you're going to look at that one because it hit Corbin Smiter right between the 8 and the L, but there were a lot of hands in between. The last one was Matt Montgomery. Morris Arnold was right there again. You see Will Thompson, the leader of this defense. He is a young man that he does everything.
Yeah, and you love the way that he plays the game because he contributes on offense, on defense, and on special teams.
Trey Newton, the delayed draw. It's going to be a 3rd down situation coming up as Morris Arnold again on the stop.
Well, his name's gotten called quite a bit, and I really like what they said about him. Greg Miller, defensive coordinator, about Morris Arnold. He said, hey, this guy was just too talented, and he was playing as a backup in the secondary. He said, we saw how good he was, and we decided midway through the season to move him up, and man, he has absolutely delivered some big plays for this Katy defense.
3rd down, 3 to go for the first down. McElroy keep it himself, and he has the first down. As McElroy, he'll lower his shoulder now, and you saw it right there. He ran over Ryan Williams, 6'3", 215 pounds. Greg McElroy already has committed. He will be playing at Texas Tech in the near future.
Well, you like the way you take the senior leadership and the decisiveness. You saw there was no trying to gain an extra 4 yards or something like that. He lowered his shoulder, bowls right over 2 tacklers to pick up that first down.
Trey Newton up the middle, and Newton again, not a whole lot there. That was Taylor Burkhalter who got there first. Burkhalter, a young man that they say is as technically sound as any player on the team, and he's been really playing well here in the playoffs. Watching number 93 work.
Yeah, does a great job of coming in there and form tackling. You see him break down. He keeps his back flat and his head right in the middle of that 22 of Trey Newton and brings him down. And you almost wonder about this Southlake offense. They're like hitting the middle. You're going to see if they're going to soften up and get some man coverage downfield and take the deep shot.
There's the play action. Great time to throw. Going for Renfro, and it's incomplete. This was a young man we weren't sure if we would see today. Konishek had the coverage, but Clint Renfro, who is as fast a player, the fastest player that Todd Dodge has ever coached. Son of Mike Renfro, the former Houston Oiler and Dallas Cowboy, of course played at TCU.
We talk about Southlake wanting to take a shot over the top after all those inside running plays. A little bit more air underneath that football, and it's possible that Clint Renfro is going to get under it. That was a very tough throw by McElroy. Tried to put it right on the numbers. Not able to do that. Now we're down to about 3rd and 8 yards.
5 wide receivers set. That's Riley Dodge, who is just checked in, a sophomore at the bottom of your screen. He's the backup quarterback. He comes in as a wide receiver, and he's the safety route here, and they throw it to him. Dodge, and he's hit by Konishek, but it's enough for a first down by about a yard. Konishek was there to make the stop, but not quite soon enough.
Hey, take a look at Riley Dodge. He's lined up out wide. He's going to just run a little behind the line of scrimmage play here. Roll the film, guys, and you'll watch. The secondary downfield is perfect. And watch these two quarterbacks communicate. See if you can stop it right there for me. Stop the play. Yeah, all right. Yeah, see, look, you got a quarterback and you got a quarterback. Now watch Dodge release downfield. He's going to go down, and McElroy throws a perfect pass, picking up a first down. That's two guys on the same page.
That was enough for a first down and a gain of 5. And you got to be ready to go here, because this offense, they will get it going in a hurry. So it's a gain of 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 coming up. Riley Dodge has really been able to do a little bit of everything. Trey Newton trying to cut back, and he's not going to be able to do it.
Well, what a play.
Tyler Miller. Well, Taylor Burkhalter kind of turned him one way, and Tyler Miller was right there to finish him off.
To go back to that 3rd down completion to Riley Dodge, I mean, here's the Southlake offense that in the shadows of their own goalpost, move it out, and they pick up that first down with McElroy running the football. That second first down was huge for them in the battle of field position.
Tyler Miller, one of just 2 juniors starting on this Katy defense. Again, McElroy with great amount of time and throws over the middle. It's complete to Smider, upended at the 38-yard line, but not before another big strike. Konishek made the tackle, but again, enough for a first down and some.
Well, Katy only rushing 4 guys, not able to get pressure on McElroy. He's got all day to throw the football, and the belly of the defense was wide open. And how about Corbin Smider going up and making that catch?
23-yard gain. Smider making his 3rd catch of the game. First down and 10 after the gain of 23. McElroy throws this one, and McKay Jacobson.
Wow, what a
brought
tackle.
Down immediately by Will Thompson, 2nd leading tackler on this team.
Kevin, we talk about McKay Jacobson in the open, and a young man is going to graduate here in about a week or so and head up to BYU to start his college career. And he is a very, very dangerous wide receiver and in the open field. And Will Thompson comes up with an extremely sure tackle in the open field.
Well, first quarter didn't take long. It went by in a heartbeat. Southlake Carroll, the high-powered offense, leading the Katy Tigers in the 5A Division II Texas Bowl 7-0. Well, Southlake Carroll coming up with the big plays in the first quarter. They lead 7-0 as we get ready to go here in the second quarter of play. We'll get your DVD of today's game or last week's 5A Division I game with Euless Trinity and Converse Judson. You can go to GameTapes.com for just $19.99 each. GameTapes.com. Well, the Dragons leading this one 7-0. When they face a 2nd down and 6. It's an offense that, of course, we've heard so much about it. You've seen how big, explosive it is. But it seems like you keep it down for a little while, but then there will be a big 23-yard play that'll kill you. And then you hold them to 2, and then you hold them to 3 yards, and then they hit you for 26 yards.
Well, you know what, Kevin? In that regard, I mean, they've made a couple of 3rd down conversions on this drive that have been huge.
2nd down, handed up off the middle, and Trey Newton across the 30-yard line. He's going to be shy of the first down. Morris Arnold making yet another tackle for Katy. You see Newton Todd Dodge says destined to be one of, not the great running backs, but an elite quarterback, or an elite running back, I should say. And on third down, that should be enough for a first down as Ryan Williams taking it right up the middle.
I want to say that's the third down conversion on this drive. And Southlake Carroll started, Kevin, on their own 15-yard line. It's a 12-play drive at this point, and so far getting close to 4 minutes in total for the drive.
Absolutely no huddles for this team. McElroy going downfield, and Smiter has it again and steps out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Corbin Smiter, coaching staff says that this is a young man that once he realized to do it the Southlake Carroll way, not the Corbin Smiter way, the light came on and he has just been a different player.
Does a nice job of putting that head fake to the inside to turn the cornerback, and then I'm really impressed going back to Greg McElroy's arm strength. He's throwing that deep out like he's ready to be on the South Plains tomorrow. Mike Leach got to be happy.
Look at this, the 14th play of this drive that started back 25-yard line. Up the middle they go. Trey Newton hurdles the 5-yard line down to the 3. Ryan Williams credit for the tackle. Not going to bring him down with the arm tackle. Katy was not able to do it. Looking for the back of the end zone and up and over McKay Jacobson. That was one of those where there was good coverage and you had a lot of receivers in one corner of the end zone, which made it a little easier to cover. And I think that time McElroy just threw that one away.
Yeah, there was more red jerseys than there were white jerseys. But as McKay Jacobson gets shoved off the line of scrimmage, gets bumped again, he's trying to float back to the far corner, not able to come down with the circus catch. And that was really a good throw by McElroy, because if Jacobson couldn't get it, nobody could.
So now third down. Third and goal. This could be a huge play for this defense. Throwing again the fade route, and that's incomplete. Fentress was the intended receiver. Konishek had about as good a coverage as you could cover, and there you see Greg McElroy. He ended up on the seat of his pants. They got to him.
But coming up from the middle, the Katy defense breaks right through the line of scrimmage. Big number 96, and he gets rid of the football. He gets the right arm across. That's big Will Kirchner, guy we talked about in the open, and the coaches on this Katy staff absolutely love.
Yeah, and you know, that's one of those that's inadvertent, but you got to watch that, because Kirchner, well, he got hand up.
He got the blow to the head.
Yeah,
he got away with one right there.
And that was Kirchner. They said it's their best pass rusher. There's the field goal attempt, and it is up and good. So Southlake Carroll scoring the first 10 points of this game. And a bit of a victory there for the Katy Tiger defense. At least they keep Southlake Carroll out of the end zone with 10 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Let's go down to Rick Renner.
Thank you guys hanging out with Ebby Neptune, the father-in-law of the great Todd Dodge, and of course an Austin Westlake coaching legend. I want to know, who's the best coach in the family?
Well, of course Todd is. I'm not a coaching legend. I was the athletic director at Westlake High School, but I was a head coach for 5 years. You know, I'm awful proud of Todd, and Riley's done a good job all year long.
Now, I take it you're kind of an old school guy, but you like this wide open stuff, huh?
Oh, yes. It's a lot of fun. And Todd did this in high school, and he's brought this through about 25 years of coaching and so forth. And anyway, he really does a good job. He's got a great offensive mind.
How about your grandson, Riley? I mean, it's interesting how he works himself into this offense. And obviously, you're going to have a couple more years to watch this kid.
You bet. He's just a sophomore this year, and he's done a great job. Riley started playing football about when he was 3 days old, and he knows Todd's system. He could check off all of his system when he was about 6th grade.
You know, it must be a game of mixed emotions for you, because Gary Joseph, you coached with him at one time. I mean, what's it like for you out here on the sideline?
When I was assistant coach at Westlake, Gary was the defensive coordinator and I was the offensive coordinator, and our head coach was Bobby Etheridge. And also I'd like to mention, went on, but Ron Schrader and his coaches, they set the foundation for the Westlake High School program.
Now, you got a camera on you right here. Is Todd putting you to work or something? What's going on?
No, I just do this. I'm the grandfather. I learned this at Westlake. All the grandfathers, grandmas come to games and everything. Well, I'm one of them now. I'm very proud, and I take pictures, and I'm putting together a portfolio, and we're real excited about all the pictures that we've got.
You're a great grandpa. Enjoy the rest of the game. Sorry to bother you.
Thank you. No, you didn't bother me. It's great.
Now back to the guys upstairs.
All right, thank you very much, Rick. There's no mixed emotions when grandson is on the field. Here's Will Thompson up the middle. And Thompson.
Good return.
You got that right, out to the 33-yard line.
Special teams play.
Joseph Agnew there to make that tackle, but not before a 29-yard return. And he's talking about his grandson. And, some of the numbers that you put together with Riley Dodge, this is a young man who's completed 64% of his passes. He's thrown 7 touchdowns. He's rushed for nearly 700 yards, and he's caught 20 passes.
When you talk about the future for this Carroll offense, we've been talking a lot about the sophomore Trey Newton. Well, the sophomore Riley Dodge projected to be the starting quarterback for this Carroll team for the next 2 years.
And again, that's what Todd Dodge will be the first one to tell you. If a young man can contribute on the varsity, there is absolutely no reason for him to be playing down on the JV.
Well, and a real good example of that, Kevin, is Chase Daniel, the quarterback that's now at Texas State. Right. As a sophomore, he wasn't good enough to play quarterback, but he was a good enough athlete to play wide receiver, so he played the slot receiver as a sophomore, and watched Chase Watson, as you talked about at the outset, go on to win the Offensive 5A MVP Player of the Year award. Then you got, if you can play, then you're going to get on the field.
And Chase Watson is somewhat doing the same thing right now at Texas State. He's playing a lot of different positions.
And had a really good year this year.
He did. Dalton being chased, and he'll throw it away. Smart decision as the Carroll defense got after him, and it's a 3rd down coming up. Trey Reese was the man chasing him down.
Well, that's the first time in today's ball game that we have seen the Carroll defense actually get pressure on Andy Dalton. The first time they flushed him out of the pocket, and the secondary coverage was good enough there to force the throwaway play. So now Katy in a very tough 3rd and about almost 8.5, 9 yards. They really need a first down right here to get something going.
Call it 3rd down and 8. Brandon King, the single setback, 4 wide receiver set. Straight drop to throw out of the gun, and it's tipped away. A penalty marker comes down from the near side. Padron, for the 2nd time in this game, was able to get one of those big hands on the football. But let's check the marker.
When you're looking at the Carroll staff, and they're all saying the ball was tipped, so incidental contact doesn't matter.
Doesn't? Well, it's an illegal receiver downfield is what it is. So it'll be punt time.
Take a look here at these linebackers. They're getting good drops, Kevin, and what they're doing is they're getting underneath the throwing lane. Thompson's going to try to run the comeback or the crossing route in the middle, not able to get himself far enough behind the linebackers where there's any room for the ball to come down. Ron Mendoza, defensive coordinator for Southlake Carroll, is dialing it up right now for the Carroll Dragons.
Brian Dorr to punt it once again. Dorr, good punt, high spiral. Taken back at the 21-yard line. Got the edge and could be gone. Penalty markers down. McKay Jacobson, though. 35 to the 30. And down to the 20-yard line, but check the marker way back at the 27.
Yeah, ball's going to come back, but my goodness, what a great return by McKay Jacobson. Talk about one of the things that Coach Dodge was concerned about coming into this was his special teams. Against Plano, Kevin, they did not field punts. The ball hit the ground. They lost 67 yards of field position. Todd said he wants his guys back there catching the football, returning punts. He said, I don't care if you gain a yard. We're not going to let the ball hit the ground. Unfortunately for Southlake Carroll, this is going to come back.
This will wipe out a 59-yard return.
Yeah. That is a big break for Katy. Right now, a little bit on their heels. And that would have been a backbreaker to give Carroll field position down deep or right around the 20-yard line going in.
On the return, blocking the back on the receiving team, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
So instead of having it at the Katy 20, it'll go all the way back to the Carroll 17. But the Dragons a 10-point lead. That man's defense needs to step up big. Well, for 22 years on Mike Johnston's staff, that man right there, Gary Joseph, was the defensive coordinator. Now his defense is going to have to come up big in this one. But you see what's gone on so far. That 79-yard drive, and then you see that 17-play drive, the longest that all season long that Katy has given up. And kind of a methodical drive, so they've held this offense to one punt in the game. They're going to need to do that again if they're going to get back in it. Katy trailing by 10. Trey Newton out to the 25 to the 28-yard. Lost the football, and Katy got a break. Morris Arnold has the football. He just took it away from Trey Newton.
Kevin, Trey Newton had eluded 2 arm tackles prior to Morris Arnold getting around him. Did not have the ball secure enough, and Arnold does not try to tackle Trey Newton. He tries to tackle the football, and he does exactly that. Look, runs through the arm tackle, runs through another arm tackle. Now watch Arnold as he comes up. Gets on the football. You betcha. Bounces right into his lap. Very opportunistic. And how about Arnold in the playoffs? He blocks the punt with 36 seconds left against Cy Falls to set up Katy for the go-ahead score to win the ball game. And now here he is today in the state championship game, causing a turnover, and his team desperately needs it.
He has, without question, been the best player on the field today for the Tigers. So the Tigers a short field to work with from the 25-yard line. Right up the middle, and there's just not a whole lot there for Andre Dean because Trey Reese, that linebacker, stepped right into a hole, maybe a gain of a yard.
Well, the difference between this Southlake Carroll team and the team of maybe a year or 2 years ago, Kevin, is the defense. And they play a very sound 4-3 defense, but they've got some really good linemen up there. We mentioned Boydston at the outset, but Adam Powers, Blake West, and Kyle Russo are also guys that just get in there. They get in the trenches, they tie up blockers, and then those linebackers, Benoit, Padron, and Reese, just have a field day.
Second down and 9 after the 1-yard gain. 8.5 minutes to go. 3 straight punts for this Katy Tiger offense, and Dalton will call a timeout.
There are only 2 seconds left on the play clock, and how about some senior leadership right there by Andy Dalton?
Well, the senior calling the timeout. He knows how important this drive is to this Tiger offense because they trail by 10. Well, 8 minutes, 25 seconds to play in the first half. Southlake Carroll, opening drive, took it in for a touchdown, had a 3-and-punt, and then ended up with a field goal. Now, Katy Tigers trying to take advantage of a turnover and get on the board. Morris Arnold has been a huge part of this Tiger defense. Recovered the fumble a moment ago after stripping Trey Thomas of the football. Second down and 9.
False start on the Tigers.
It cost him 5. It'll come back, and it's going to be a touchdown that's going to be called back. Brandon King on the wheel route got open, but it's all coming back. And really, Andre Dean there was no advantage to the play whatsoever. Dean just went on the wrong snap count.
And he's just a half a count early, and you'll see as he's back there in the backfield, he's the only guy back there, so no way that he can hide. He tried to freeze, but he had taken the step to the right, too late, and got the flag.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty, previous spot. Replay second down.
As a result of the motion penalty,
there's just the little hitch. And you see no one at all paid any attention to Brandon King coming out of the backfield.
I tell you what, King was wide open. That's one Carroll lucky that illegal motion penalty was called.
No one got within 5 yards of him all the way to tripped into the end zone. So now it is second down and 14 to go for the first down. This time play action, good protection, throws it, and it's incomplete. Just a little bit low as Harris could not quite get to it. Bobby Harris, he slid down and took the knee to try to get to the football, but it was underthrown. Anthony Ford had the coverage, and it'll be a third down coming up at 14.
But here he is. He's got man coverage, and you're going to watch him run a deep post route. And take a look as he goes down. It's close to coming up with that football. I like the way Andy Dalton throws the football. He gets it down and low and away from the defender, just a hair low. Harris not able to come up with the catch, but it looked like he had good position on the defender, and that's what the Southlake Carroll defense gives you. They put a lot of guys up and around the box, and they ask their corners to go one-on-one.
Play action again, time to throw, going for the corner of the end zone. It is almost picked off. It is. It's intercepted. Joseph Agnew got it. It went in the hands of Trevor Ashlock. Then Fuda had a hand on it, the intended receiver, and then Joseph Agnew was able to intercept the football.
That was great coverage. They did the bracket coverage 4 across the top, and so you had Scott Simpson running stride for stride with him. Agnew comes over from the inside. You're going to see here, you got your man match up here, and then you're going to see the help come from the inside. He runs over. They never take their eyes off the football. Both of them there in good position. Ball goes up, and Agnew does a great job of concentrating on the football, coming down with the interception.
So it looked like was a huge break for Katy. The Tigers cannot take advantage.
That was a great play by Scott Simpson there, running, staying with the wide receiver, and tipping that ball away.
Well, Trey Newton right back up the middle. The sophomore fumbling the football last time he carries it. What do? You hand it right back to him. Brandon Graham there to make that stop.
Another sophomore. We're talking about they've got a couple of sophomores on this Katy defense that didn't start the season as starters, but certainly in the playoffs have come on. Brad Graham, one of those guys.
Yeah, he's gotten to the quarterback 5 times. He got 5 quarterback sacks. Smiter with the catch there as Will Thompson spins him out of bounds.
Kevin, you were earlier talking about Corbin Smiter, and once the coaching staff in Southlake tells us once he bought into the Carroll system, he's really become a big contributor. The guy's a senior this year. He played on the JV last year, and he's had a huge year, 44 catches, 613 yards, averaging about 14 yards a catch, but he's one of those kids that have come along, gotten in the program, and he's really made a big contribution.
11 touchdown catches, like you said, coming into this game today. 5 wide receiver set. Throws it for Smiter again, makes the catch. He's hit immediately. Be a short gain. That's good tackling by Will Thompson. That is something that this Tiger defense will do. They will attack you. They're a very, very disciplined defense.
Well, here's Will Thompson right here, and he's on Smiter, and he's got him. And look, you see the 4 defenders across the top. But watch how he comes up in the short tackle. Will Thompson is a 5'9", 165-pounder, and he's wrestling the 6'3", 205 guy down. And that's what, as you said, is very impressive about the secondary for Katy. They're extremely sure tacklers in the open field.
They have held 9 opponents to 8 points or less this season. Southlake Carroll here with 6.5 minutes to go in the first half, already with 10, and there's a big pop right up the middle. Ryan Williams, big number 43, after Brad Graham got there first.
But Brad Graham is a heat seeker coming in off of that middle linebacker position. And it looked like McElroy might have had something to work with following the lead back of Trey Newton. But watch, he's going to come here over the top. Right over the top, and he's able to wrestle McElroy down to the ground. That was a nice play.
Well, a timeout is taken on the field. Greg McElroy, he has engineered this offense. They have had 6 third downs so far in this first half and converted on 5 out of the 6 third downs that they have come up with. And they face a big one here in 3rd down and 4 with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half. Now, we'll take you back on the flashback. Don't have to go back far. 2004, Southlake Carroll.
Got the punt blocked right there, and this is what put Smithson Valley in the lead, and they had all the momentum. And then here late in the ball game, Kenton Gedwed runs down the field on the next possession, and Gedwed goes in for the touchdown. This game is all tied up, and it comes down to Kyle Ortega, a sophomore, knuckles the ball through for the field goal to win the football game on the last play of the game, putting Southlake Carroll in that mythical national championship.
Amazing run, and the run looking to continue today for the Dragons. 16-0 in 2004, 15-1 in 2003, after going 16-0 in 2002. 2002, a 45-14 win over Smithson Valley.
Big 3rd down in this ball game, Kevin.
3rd down 4. Bigger for the Tiger defense, I think, than the Dragon offense. Throws this one, and it's complete. McKay Jacobson has the first down and steps out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
How about the pass protection? Greg McElroy had a day and a half to throw that football. McKay Jacobson, who was not open early, only rushing 3 guys. That means they're dropping 8. But McKay Jacobson was not open early. He breaks his route off in just enough to pick up the first down, and McElroy, with all day to throw football, puts it right on him.
You know, his protection's the difference. You just can't cover these guys that long. McElroy will take it ahead, and it's a short gain.
Uh-oh. Morris Arnold.
Morris Arnold may have gotten away with one there.
Well, he did. He threw a big lick on. I tell you what, how about the closing speed? Well, former defensive back, and you talked about him, obviously the best player on the field for Katy so far in this ball game. But I'm telling you what, he plays with a purpose, takes a great angle, and looks like he gets a shot on McElroy. He's just a hair outside.
Clock stopped with 6:01 to go. Obviously no penalty marker, so it's 2nd down and 7. That one could have gone either way. Didn't go the way of the Dragons, that's for sure. But again, Carroll driving. Trey Newton up the middle, and what Trey Newton just to the midfield mark, and that's about it. Is once again met rudely by Brad Graham, was the first guy there, number 39, just that sophomore. Here's all the huddle you'll see right there from Southlake Carroll.
Yep, that is the huddle. Get to the line of scrimmage, make the play call, let the play clock come. And really what they're doing is they're going to wait, and they'll make another play call once that Katy defense gets set.
McElroy loads of time again, going for Smiter, and it's incomplete.
How about
great
the coverage? My goodness.
Will Thompson like a blanket on Corbin Smiter.
And you go back and you look at the height and the size advantage that Smiter has over Will Thompson. And there's just nowhere to go. And defensive coordinator Greg Miller, he had nothing but high praise for Will Thompson, and why not?
Darren Konishek,
Konishek and Thompson go back deep. Wait the punt from Ryan Murray. Murray punting for just the 2nd time in the game.
Ball's gone, it's gone.
A short kick, taken to the 25. And Thompson brings it ahead up to the 30-yard line.
He lost the football, but he's able to get back on it. See the beanbag hit the ground as Will Thompson was going down, Kevin. Looked like the ball jarred loose, but fortunately for Katy, bounces right back into his hands.
Well, a short 25-yard punt, 5-yard return. And Tigers, again, defense answers this time. Will Thompson does just a little bit of everything, and he does everything very, very well. Young man that they say wouldn't be surprised if you see him playing at one of the service academies next year. He's that kind of student and that kind of football player. So from the 29-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Well, Andy Dalton's got to be chomping at the bit to try to get something going offensively right now. This young quarterback already committed to TCU. 3-step drop and throws it complete. Michael Fuda. Fuda looked like he was going to step out of bounds, and he faked Scott Simpson out of his shoes, and that's saying something because that doesn't happen very often.
No, and Fuda, he runs just a nice little out route, very easy pitch and catch, and that's something that you're seeing Gerald Brixey kind of get rhythm back into the Katy offense. He's looking for them just to establish something, throws a nice little out, and then how about Fuda doing the rest with the feet, picking up the 1st down.
Ooh.
Nice little move.
I don't know if they expected Fuda to step out of bounds or what, but instead he picked up another 3 yards. Out to the 42-yard line. King on the delay, and nothing delayed about the defense getting there is Justin Padron, who called his name several times today, that inside linebacker, and Kyle Russo there to make the stop.
Well, the pressure up front by the Carroll defense, they just beat the blockers of Katy at the point of attack, get into the backfield, and even though you talk about King having that good vision and ability to cut back, really nowhere to go with the football.
All he could see there was a big 7 and a big 5, and that was Michael Boydston, 6'2", 250 pounds. Look at the numbers on Dalton. All 3 of his pass completions have been to the same man, Michael Fuda. He looks for Fuda once again, throws this one, and it's complete for a 1st down. And it's Michael Fuda again. Just enough to move the sticks. Scott Simpson had very good coverage, but you couldn't put it any better than what Andy Dalton did.
Well, when you see him, watch him, he's going to come downfield, and he's going to come all the way across the field. And as the rollout by Andy Dalton, you're going to see him, then he locates Fuda, puts the ball perfectly, and that's a great catch by Fuda, running across the middle of the field. Not a bad throw by Dalton, going across his body to get it out there to his star wide receiver.
4th catch of the game for Michael Fuda. 56th of the season. King again with a little head of steam. Down near the 41-yard line. Now, Joseph Agnew makes that tackle, but you think the guys in the red and white have things going on.
Well, we talk about trying to get a little bit of stride, a little bit of continuity. Katy has now got it. They open this drive, Kevin, after having a little bit of a shaky start on offense. They open the drive with that little simple out pass to Michael Fuda, and then since then they've got on rhythm.
Gain of 6, second down and 4. Hand it to him again. Just try the other side, but he's hitting the backfield. He'll spin ahead for a gain of a yard, but Patrick Benoit, 95 tackles and an interception coming into this game. Benoit playing like 2 other of his teammates on the defensive side, playing in their 48 high school games.
Unbelievable.
48 high school games.
Unbelievable, yeah. No kidding. I mean, you talk about that, and that's just an incredible amount of games for a high school kid to play. And what I like about Benoit, he's a track guy.
Yeah.
Forced to run track, and at over 200 pounds, he ran a sub 23-second 200 meters.
But, you know, they moved him to the outside to take advantage of that speed. Here's a big third down. Dalton has the first down inside the 35-yard line to the 34, and the Tigers continue to move the chains.
Well, you talk about how important Andy Dalton is to this Katy Tiger team. He shows you right there on a critical third down conversion. He runs right by the tackle of Patrick Benoit, a guy that is an extremely sure tackle. We're just talking about how good of a defender he is. Andy Dalton beats him at the point of attack to knife forward for the first down.
That's the first time today that the Tigers have converted on third down. Dalton with time to throw, does throw, and it's going to be a fight for the football. It's Carroll, got it. Joseph Agnew the interception, and he threw into absolute triple coverage.
Yeah, there were 3 green jerseys around Michael Fuda, excuse me, I was trying to get down the field to Will Thompson. That's 20, not 2. But there are 3 green jerseys. They all jumped the route. You think, Katy, that the Carroll defense doesn't realize how important Will Thompson is to this team? Triple coverage, no way he's going to get the football coming out of there, and Agnew does with the pick. Second with pick of the ball game.
Yeah, in his many possessions. Agnew with his 3rd of the season.
But that was a good drive right there by Katy, because they did some things that they haven't been able to do all ball game. So from a confidence standpoint, they know if their defense can get them the ball back, that they can make something happen.
McElroy throws this one, and it's complete. That's the first catch of the day for James Allen, his 36th catch of the season. He's 6'3", 195 pounds, a big target. He's a senior.
Yeah, and I like what Coach Todd Dodge had to say about him in the conference call. He said, hey, this guy, I've got so much confidence in him going into a big game, it's crazy. And he talked about how much he means to this team, and just another one of the many weapons that Southlake Carroll has.
Sacrificed a lot of his numbers this year for the good of the team, and that one just a little high and outside as he was looking for James Allen once again as we head back to the sideline and Rick Renner.
All right, guys, thank you. I'm hanging out with Nate Newton, the great cowboy. What's up there, dog? He's got Super Bowls. He's watching his son, the super sophomore running back for Southlake Carroll, Trey. Now, where did he learn all that great speed out there?
Just watching us play, man, with the Cowboys, man. I mean, he had a number 22 for him, Miss Smith, man. So he watched him, and he watched one of the best.
You know, it's funny. People don't realize this. You were a speedy guy in high school in Florida, weren't you?
Yeah, I was speedy to the breakfast table, to the dinner table, to the lunch table. That's about it, man. I played a little fullback in high school, but that didn't last long.
You know, it's interesting. I look at Trey, and being a sophomore in this kind of atmosphere, how much have you talked to him about what this is like?
I just tell him to stay relaxed, man, and have fun. That's all it's about. High school is a time where you experience new things, girls and all this. So just have fun and relax, man.
You know, you're a guy that loves the camera. Trey's getting a little bit better at that. Are you working on that too?
Yeah, he's working on it. It's a big play right now, but y'all missed it. But anyway, yeah, he's working on it.
Nate Newton, little play-by-play up to the booth. Say, give it to Kevin right now.
Kevin who?
Kevin Eschenfelder upstairs. Throw it up to him. You were giving a little play-by-play.
Man, I ain't into that no more. Hey, Kevin, it's up to you, baby. Back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Nate.
I don't think it'd take long for him to get the hang of it.
I like the Kevin who part of that. The price of fame. There's McElroy again. Oh, they got the screen set up. This could go for a mile. It's played very well, though, by that Katy defense. Taylor Burkhalter got there when Trey Newton took it ahead, though, and it's going to be close to a first down. Will Kirchner also there on the stop.
A little bit of change of pace. You see the guys looking for the middle screen is what the Katy defenders did. Didn't happen. It went to the outside and really, as you said, could have gone for a mile. But I give a lot of credit there to that Katy defense for getting down, and Burkhalter especially for fighting off the block and stopping Newton short.
Yeah, you give Chris Swanson maybe the credit for that, because Swanson was the big offensive lineman that turned around and
bounced back into him.
Newton ran right into him.
Flags down before the snap.
A relatively laundry-free game.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Instead of second down and a yard, we'll bring it back second down and 6.
You talk about the Carroll offense and just the gargantuan numbers that they have put up, Kevin. 7 games this year they have gone over 500 yards of total offense. 3 of those games they've gone over 600 yards of total offense. So they just constantly apply the pressure and make big plays.
How about this? Averaging 29 first downs a game. Looking for a first down here. Going big time. And it's caught by Smider, touchdown. He and McKay Jacobson ran right towards one another. I think it was a blown route by one of the receivers, but a good play for the Dragons as they score on a big strike.
Kevin, they saw the single coverage downfield, and McElroy very patiently rolls out to his right to allow the route to develop because he could see downfield that there was man coverage. We're going to take a look at it here if we can on the all-22 look, but here's Smider right here. He's going to run down, and it's going to take forever for him to go down before he breaks it across the middle. And watch McElroy bounce out to his left, and then he just delivers a perfect strike down the field to Smider for the touchdown.
Well, a point after is good, but a 47-yard touchdown strike. Corbin Smider getting into the end zone for the second time today, and the Dragons, with 66 seconds remaining, leading this one 17-0.
Oh, I tell you what, man, we are really getting treated to watching 2 outstanding quarterbacks throw the football. We talked about both of these guys, and actually both of their coaching staffs talked about how accurate of throwers and passers that they are. And you see right there, it's just a perfect strike down the field from McElroy for the touchdown to Smider. I tell you, I'm really impressed with how well at the high school level, that he is playing. And he is able to locate receivers downfield. And he's made a couple of deep out throws today's game. I mean, he's got the arm strength.
You know, I said before that play that, you know, coaches look at things. They look at the ability to move the chains because, you know, that's the ability to possess the football. And unless you possess the football, you can't score. Yeah, 29 first downs per game is what this team averages. And right now, they have had 14 first downs in this first half alone. They could get the ball back. But 14 first half first downs, 11 of which have come gained via the pass.
Well, and you talk about that. The numbers are truly staggering when you see that kind of offensive production, and it is a relentless fast break pressure on the offense, and there's just never any let up in this Carroll team.
Well, McElroy tying the school record of 54 touchdown passes, doing it in 2005.
How about this?
This is the 5A record. I beg your pardon, not just the Carroll record, but the 5A record. Chase Watson and Chase Daniel. These guys own the record book. I mean, they own the state record book. Room to run. That's a good way to start. You've got 36 seconds, or make it a minute left. So that was Matt Harrison on that return. As you see, now Matt Harrison, I beg your pardon, on the tackle is Andre Dean with the return. You know, now's the question. With 60 seconds remaining,
yes,
do you try to make something happen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, absolutely, because on that last drive, you had success moving the football against this Carroll offense, and you've got an extremely accurate passer in Andy Dalton. Even though he's been picked off twice today, he's still been able to put the ball out there and show you where he can get it to his wide receivers.
Tigers have turned it over on their last 2 possessions. Room to run here by King, and King didn't look like he really had any intentions of getting out of bounds until he got pushed that way, and that will stop the clock with 54 seconds left. Troy Reese was the man in the white jersey there to escort him rudely into the sideline area. But just a gain of a couple.
It was very fortunate for Katy that he did go out of bounds, because as you said, it looked like he was trying to make a cutback, really with nowhere to go, and he would have been tackled in the field of play. That would have eaten up about another 12 to 15, 18 seconds off the clock. Now Katy still has the ball with 54 seconds left.
Well, right up the middle they go. room to run, and King gets it to the 40-yard line. Brandon King breaks that one off. Joseph Agnew, a 15-yard run, and Agnew there to make that stop. But see, now you're getting down to the 40-yard line, and this is a very good kicker that Katy has. Keep that in mind. Chris Lewis is a guy who's got a long of 48. He can kick it to 55 yards out. Dalton over the middle. He gets it down to the 30-yard line and hit
Katy
right there and knocked down.
Timeout, Kevin. They've got timeouts to use. They've got 2 of them left.
Watch Michael Fuda work. Agnew with a very sure tackle.
I thought they would have used one there.
Under 30 seconds remaining. Go ahead and spike the football. Now that leads you to believe that they're going to take a couple shots here, at least way downfield. As you take a look there, you see Chris Lewis, 10 of 12 in his field goal department this year. He got a long of, I said, 48 yards. Had the field goal blocked. Keep that in mind against Cy Falls a couple of weeks ago.
3rd down, 1.
It's 3rd down and a yard. First things first is you got to get the first down here. And they'll keep it on the ground. Dalton has the first down, and that is all. And the clock will stop while they set the change, just like it does in college.
First down, Tigers.
Just did get enough for the yard. And you see, now you're going to go ahead and use one of those 2 timeouts. You save one for the field goal unit, and maybe call a couple of plays here with 21 seconds remaining.
Remember, Andy Dalton burned a timeout earlier in the first half when the play clock got down to 2 seconds in a very critical 3rd down. He called a timeout there, so they only have 2 left. Just use one of those. So I still, as you were talking, Kevin, 21 seconds on the clock. You've got an opportunity to take a few shots down the field. And watching Michael Fuda work on the first ball that he was down deep between Simpson and Agnew, even though they had bracket coverage on him, the ball still bounced around a little bit where it looked like he might have had a chance to come down with it. So you can tell that they rely on him or possibly want to get back down the field to him. And then the other guy, Bobby Harris, saw the deep post earlier, a little bit underthrown by Dalton, but he's a guy who's made some big catches in that Cypress Falls game to win the ball game. He had that 32-yard touchdown catch.
Yeah, ifs and buts, but I mean, he hits Harris in stride, he scores.
You bet.
Question.
Absolutely.
And the thing is, the first interception he threw in the back of the end zone, that was a good play by a couple of defenders. Now, really, the last time that the Tigers had the football, that was a bad decision. Not a bad throw.
No.
It was a bad decision.
He forced the ball in, and the Carroll defense was very well aware that Will Thompson was on the field, as he is again right here in the slot. So you've got him in the slot, and you've got Fuda out wide.
21 seconds remaining in the first half. Tigers trying to get on the board, trailing 17-0. Throws this one, and it's incomplete. And it's probably just as well, because that would have been a chance for Eric Hightower. He would have been tackled well within the boundaries. And stops the clock with 18 seconds remaining. That's the first time today that Dalton has thrown it at Eric Hightower. Scott Simpson had the coverage. So 2nd down. 10 to go for the first, but the major thing to keep an eye on is 18 seconds remaining. Looking at a 46-yard field goal attempt right here. Throws this one complete. He's got to get out of bounds, and does. Eric Hightower catches it and steps out of bounds with 13 seconds left. And that is the first time today someone other than Michael Fuda has been the receiver on an Andy Dalton reception.
And Eric Hightower, the backup wide receiver, coming in the 4 wides, only has 3 catches coming into today's ball game.
That's his 4th catch of the season. Although during those 3 catches, he's averaged 15 yards per reception. 3rd down and 2, 13 seconds remaining. Everything has to be at the sideline. Throws it complete, gets the first down, and gets out of bounds. And this has really been a great drive. As Michael Fuda steps out, Scott Simpson there to make the stop or knock him out of bounds with 9 seconds left.
Well, I like the way that Katy and offensive coordinator Gerald Brixey started this drive. They started running the football. And they had a run that maybe picked up a couple of yards as it bounced outside, but then the big run by King up the middle got him into the plus side of the field, and then it's been Dalton throwing the ball just in pinpoint passing, methodically getting them down the field, and where they're now scrimmaging from the 16, 17-yard line.
Yeah, now you're at the 9 seconds remaining from the 17-yard line. And the play action. throwing for the end zone, and it's incomplete. Now, interference penalty comes in, but it comes in with 2 seconds remaining.
It was an interference call because the defender, Trey Reese, never turned around to see the football. He was running with Brandon King, who was on the wheel route coming out of the backfield. And Kevin, he just stuck both of his hands up and did not allow. If he turns his head, it's not a flag. But he doesn't turn his head and gets flagged for the pass interference. Take a look here. Here's King coming out, and you're going to see Trey Reese running with him. Now you watch the arms go up. All you do, you turn back around and locate the football. It's not a penalty.
So 2 seconds remain in the first half.
Now what do you do? Down on the 2-yard line, you got to play left.
You're going to go ahead and
you're going to take some points. You're going to try to hammer it in.
No, you got to take points. You got to get on the. You got to get on the board.
I'm with you.
Andy.
I tell you though, I think Katy wants to think about this. This is the state championship ball game. And they've got a very reliable field goal kicker, and you got to be pleased with what you've done. I agree with you. I think you go ahead and you get some points on the board, something to show for it.
I think the risk reward is just too much, because if you don't put it in the end zone, that gives
the momentum and everything.
It totally goes. Not as if that you need any more momentum with a 17-0 lead, but it could be a deflating final possession of the first half if you don't put it in the end zone. But guess what? They're going to talk to.
Hey, I'm telling you what, this senior leadership and they're pushing for it, and whether or not they're going to get an opportunity, hopefully the cooler heads for Katy will prevail, meaning that of Gary Joseph.
But you look at it, and Katy has moved the football on 3 straight possessions. You kick a field goal here, and while it has been an offense, really pretty much a first half dominated by Southlake Carroll, you're down by 2 scores.
But Kevin, it doesn't feel necessarily like Southlake has dominated this football game. It really feels like Katy is not just in the ball game and trailing 17-0, but it feels like they're actually a lot closer than that.
So Chris Lewis for the field goal.
He drills it.
He did. Drilled it big time on the final play of the first half. So a huge drive for Katy. They got the football with 60 seconds left, drove it down, and got the field goal as we go down to Rick Renner.
All right, standing by with head coach Todd Dodge of the Southlake Carroll Dragons. Big touchdown for you on the last drive. How big was that for you?
Well, that was huge. Set up by our defense. The defense is playing great. Joseph Agnew's gotten 2 picks. It's set us up. Corbin Smider's playing real well. Greg did a nice job moving in the pocket on that play.
You know, it's interesting. Everybody talks about how great your offense is, but, I mean, sometimes I think the defense doesn't get enough credit.
Well, if anybody's ever watched us, they know that the defense is the backbone of this football team.
What do you say to you guys when you go in there at halftime?
We just got to finish the deal.
All right, Todd. Good luck in the second half. Appreciate it. He's got a whole arm with plays and stuff, and we got a lot of stuff coming up at halftime. We will have Dana Larson in our studios with previews of other games here at Texas Stadium, along with Highland Park coach Randy Allen, the state champion Randy Allen from Highland Park in our studios. It's halftime. Carroll in charge, 17-3.
On and have some success, and that field goal at the end of the first half really gave a lot of momentum and really kind of buttressed, if you will, that Katy offense.
Well, he wasn't around in 1959 when this Katy Tiger program won its first state championship, but he certainly was in 97, 2000, and 2003 when Katy has won its last 3. Tigers, if they're going to make it another one in the trophy case, you're going to have to come from behind to do it. Well, Thompson had a seam for just a moment. It closed in a hurry. 15-yard return as he brings it out to the 25-yard line. Derek Tomlin, the backup linebacker, making that tackle. And there you see Andy Dalton making his way back out onto the field. A rough first half for him, threw a couple of picks.
Also had some good throws.
Yes, he did. Very accurate thrower. Already committed. He will be at TCU for Gary Patterson next season. And penalty marker comes in, and this looks like a substitution violation on the first play here in the second half. I think Katy broke the huddle with 12 men.
Yep, they're going to wave it.
The play was leaving after the kickoff. First down.
A player got off the field late, and the official did not realize. He got off the field late after the kickoff to start the second half. So here we go to start the second half. The Tigers of Katy down 17-3. Southlake Carroll in control of that first half for the most part as far as getting into the end zone. And there on the first play, Andre Dean, who takes it ahead. A nice gainer, nearly 10 yards on the first play. Joseph Agnew made the stop.
But that is traditional Katy football. They're running the counter play, and they've gone now from Brandon King on this particular series to Andre Dean, who has shared that tailback position, but he is a bit more of a downhill physical type runner versus King, who's a little bit more shifty. So Katy coming out and wanting to establish something offensively here with the running game.
2nd and 1. First down and plenty more. He could be gone. And he is. How about that? Will Thompson, and we got us a football game.
But how about the speed of Will Thompson? He was blanketed by two defenders. He is the inside receiver on the wide side of the field. We'll take another look at, here's Will Thompson right here. He's just going to run like a little belly route, and take a look at what he does once you roll. We're going to stop it. You get two defenders. Stop it right there, guys, if you can. Whoop, regardless. Two Southlake defenders, and Will Thompson never had any doubt about what he was going to do with that football, Kevin. Turns it upfield and streaks into the end zone.
And just like that, we are an extra point away from having a 7-point game. Chris Lewis for the point after. And he is perfect. So the Katy Tigers on a 66-yard touchdown strike from Andy Dalton to Will Thompson. They pick up 66 there. That equals their total offensive output of the first half.
And he did. And he really got a nice job of blocking by Michael Fuda downfield to really get out on the cornerback. And take a look at this. Is a design play that really is just designed to pick up a couple yards and get your quarterback in rhythm. Will Thompson alertly takes it, splits the defenders into the house for the touchdown. That is a huge play for this Katy offense, and it's something that you felt like, Kevin, from our vantage point watching this, they felt like they had this in them all game.
This has been kind of the norm for this team. At an offense that can hit you in a big way. The 20th time this season in which Katy has scored from more than 30 yards out. That time they go in from 66 yards away. And on the opening drive of that third quarter, the Tigers get on the board and in the end zone for the first time today. Anthony Ford, the single man in the middle, flanked by Fentress and McKay Jacobson. Konishcheck looking to kick it away.
And Katy has had very good kickoff coverage in this ball game.
Gary Joseph said it's the best he's seen in 24 years at coaching at Katy. Fentress takes it ahead, and Fentress out near the 30-yard line. And so now the Dragons challenged here to start the second half. They want to answer in a big way. A 21-yard return. They scored on their opening possession. Had no trouble getting into the end zone in the first half. As Will Thompson, look what he's been able to do. A little bit, maybe a lot of bit of absolutely everything, whether he's catching the football, throwing the football, running it, or playing defensive back.
Open field tackles, you betcha. He's done it all for this Katy team, and what a tremendous – he's a senior. He is your leader, and I love the fact the guy is a smallish guy, 5'9", 165 pounds, but there's definitely no quit in number 20.
Look what the Dragons have done on 6 possessions.
Timeout, Carroll.
Scored on 3 of those 6 possessions, turned it over once, and Carroll will call a timeout. The Todd Dodge's team seeing the guys in the red with a little momentum. That said, it's the Dragons with a 7-point lead early in the third. Dragons lead at 17-10 as we go to Rick Renner.
Thank you, guys. Hanging out with Mike Lowry from Dodge. Now, I understand you have a dealership in Katy, and you got a dealership in Southlake. You live in Southlake. Who are you rooting for?
Well, you know, Jim Stanley down there in Katy is rooting for Katy, and I'm rooting for Southlake. Somebody's going to buy somebody lunch.
I see some red here, and you're on the Katy side. You got to be careful over here. Now, you know, Dodge has been so much a part of high school athletics. Tell us about why that is.
Well, you know, the Dodge dealers in Texas are very proud to be a sponsor of the Dodge Lone Star Cup. And I know Dodge dealerships all over the nation are big sponsor in high school athletics. It's good for the community.
And what a game this is, right?
It's a great game. This is awesome.
Any chance I get a free Viper for doing this interview?
You're so big, you need a mega cab.
I love those cars. Thank you so much, Mike Lowry of Dodge. Let's throw it up to Kevin up in the booth.
All right, Trent Hunter with the big hit there, and it's a second down and 10 coming up. Oh, that guy right there, Morris Arnold, he has played great in this first half, and you get a sense that a little bit of a spark has been lit into this Tiger team thanks to that 66-yard touchdown pass to start the second half. McElroy being the chase, they set up the screen. A penalty marker is down, and Trey Newton has the first down and a gain of 17 yards. Morris Arnold finally made the stop, but let's check the marker. It looked, and it is a hold.
Well, that's a tough penalty call right there against Southlake, because a holding call on a screen pass, basically all you're doing is passing off the defensive lineman. All you need to do is slow him down. Get the holding call, though. That'll go against Carroll.
Wipes out a 17-yard gain at that. Backs it up to the 20-yard line rather than being out near the 45, so in essence a 25-yard penalty.
Right now, James Allen, the tight end, inside receivers in the ball game.
Keep an eye on him. McElroy, here comes the pressure again. Steps up and throws it complete. Fentress has it at the 40-yard line. Just enough for a first down. Konishek made the tackle, but they'll move the chains.
Yeah, I think he's going to be just a hair short, looks like, on the spot. I mean, I agree with you. It looked like he fell over the first down marker, but officials come down and spot him just a hair short, running across the middle of the field. Good arm strength again by McElroy.
A great spot. The elbow went right down at the 39-yard line, right there. They get it right up the middle.
Yeah, I don't think he made it.
Or
that Katy defense, now we saw that all first half is when they needed a few yards or a yard and a half or so. They ran the quarterback sneak with big Greg McElroy. He does it again right there, but he is not able to get the first down. Hats off to that Katy defensive front.
Boy, it is not enough for the first down, and so they're going to have to punt.
Big Will Kirchner, looks like he got back in there, as did Burkhalter.
You're not kidding. So Ryan Murray will punt it away to the man of the second half, Will Thompson. Thompson waiting back at the 28-yard line. And Murray almost lost the football. Here's Thompson from the 30 to the 40. Spins away and he could be gone. Thompson down to the 15. Good heavens.
Well, it is the Will Thompson show in the second half. My goodness. Nice job on the punt return. That was a little bit of an angle kick, and usually you'll get a little better coverage on that. But as he sails off to his right side, love the way and the strength and the balance. Again, keep in mind, Kevin, he is 5'9", 165 pounds.
He's had a 66-yard touchdown reception here in the second half, and now a 55-yard punt return down to the Southlake Carroll 14-yard line. And we haven't played 3 minutes of the second half. 9:05 to go in the third quarter. Handed off to King up the middle, and King cruising his way down to the 10-yard line. Brandon King running in there and running tough, and Joseph Agnew there to make that stop. Well, Gary Joseph, this is a team that Gary Joseph said, he goes, you know, we've been here before, down 17-3 at halftime. They were down 11 with 4 minutes left a couple of weeks ago against Cypress Falls and came back to win that game, 32-28. Still, obviously, a ton of time left in this one. Southlake Carroll leading it, King up the middle again, and Agnew hits him again. And One of those situations where Brandon King was headed north in a hurry, and all of a sudden he came to a quick stop.
Well, he did, but it's almost interesting to see the contrast in Brandon King. First half, you see him making a lot of cutbacks and a lot of different moves. Last couple of times, we've seen him carry the football. Andre Dean actually started this second half, but they're running right downhill. So you know that the coaching staff at Katy said, look, guys, enough dancing in the hole. Let's hammer the ball right down on that defense and see if we can't make something happen.
That was Benoit with that big hit. So it's third down. Line to make is the 4-yard line for the first down. Dalton rolls the pocket, throws for the back of the end zone and threw it away. Good coverage. And so it'll be fourth down coming up.
Well, it looked like they might have had something there at the outset of the play, but the quickness of that Carroll defense is able to converge. Justin Padron, the middle linebacker, comes up and puts the pressure. Take a look here. You're going to see the fake and then the bootleg back around to the side. He's going to have receiver here and receiver here down in the end. See if he can find him. And like I said, at the outset of the play, it looks like something was happening. Padron does a great job of closing speed and forcing Dalton to get rid of the football.
Yeah, that was Logan Madden, 46, the tight end, who appeared to be open for just a moment. He's got 9 touchdown catches on the season, but weren't able to get the football to him was Andy Dalton. So now field goal attempt for Chris Lewis. And Lewis is absolutely perfect. So the Tigers with 10 points in the early going here of the third quarter. But it's the Dragons that lead it 17-13. Dragons lead it by 4. And that young man right there, he knows a lot about playing in the Texas Bowl, and it started his sophomore season and made his presence felt from 2003 to today. Third play of the game against Southlake Carroll. He was burned and burned big. But in the closing moments, just a sophomore, Will Thompson with the interception to seal the deal. We flash forward to earlier today, and just moments ago, a 66-yard touchdown pitch and catch to get the opening possession going in the second half for the Katy Tigers. And then after a 3-and-out, Dragons punt it away. 55 yards later, Will Thompson, now the senior, the leader of this defense and the leader of this Katy Tiger team, takes it all the way down, a 55-yard punt return, and he is the reason that they are right back in this game as the Dragons lead the Tigers of Katy by a score of 17-13.
Well, he's just having a tremendous ball game today, and the things that will go unnoticed because of the big plays are the plays that he has made defensively on wide receivers in the open field, one-on-one on an island. 165-pound kid going against a 205-pounder, able to make open field tackles and bringing them down after just quick catches and not able to pick up any yards.
You know what Gary Joseph said about this young man, he and Greg Miller, the defensive coordinator as well, both of them said, you know, there's one thing to being a veteran and understanding the game and to being smart and being able to anticipate. He said, but Will Thompson can do all of those things, and then he has the talent to go along with it.
Yeah. Very high praise for him. And, you know, throw the other stuff on his resume from this season. He's also blocked a kick in this season.
This will come to Evan Fentress. He will take it from the 5-yard line, and Evan Fentress bringing it up to the 26-yard line. And Morris Arnold once again there to make that stop. Now, the pressure falling a little bit on this Dragon offense right now. And I think that's pressure that they would absolutely welcome, a challenge they would welcome.
Well, this offense, again, we talk about Katy and their miraculous comebacks in the postseason stretch. Keep in mind, Southlake Carroll trailed Plano. They also trailed Lufkin. And so now they've been down before. They're ahead in this ball game, but clearly the momentum is on Katy's side. But you'd expect to see the Southlake Carroll offense come out and try to establish the rhythm that they had in the first half.
Southlake Carroll has had a lot further to go here in this game, but they've been able to get the job done, and they go right back to Trey Newton right up the middle, and Morris Arnold was there to make the stop. And that's good yardage on first down as he gets out to the 29-yard line. It'll be a second down and 5. As if you don't have enough options out of this offense. When you're in second and short, you got a lot of things you can do. Good protection going up top. Jacobson has it at the 30 to the 25. And just like that, the Dragons come right back. Trey Hunter finally on the coverage. And it was almost as if when the ball was up in the air, they lost sight of where Jacobson was.
Here's Jacobson, but Kevin, take a look. Stop it right there if you can, guys. If you can stop the film. Now watch here. The ball is thrown to the outside. Watch where Jacob is going to end up catching the football. Roll it out there. See how the quarterback leads him away from the coverage. He's able to come down with the catch and make a big play for this offense.
Kay Jacobson, a gain of 47 yards down to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, throwing this one, and it's caught. Touchdown! Right through 2 defenders. Trent Hunter had a shot at it, and just like that, Southlake Carroll comes right back.
Well, if you're a Southlake Carroll Dragon fan, you're holding your breath as McElroy throws that football. But I'm so impressed, Kevin, with the ability to put the ball where only the receiver has a chance to catch it. He looks to the left. If you stop it right here again, guys, you'll see the ball sailing up. Look, there's 2 defenders. They have a shot, but the ball goes up over the top of them. Jacobson, great concentration, secures the football, turns it up for the touchdown.
19th touchdown reception of the season for Jacobson, and the point after is perfect. So how about that for a gut check drive? And it didn't take long. The Southlake Carroll Dragons bouncing right back after Katy had owned the opening moments of the second half.
Well, here's the play that puts the ball into the end zone. McElroy throwing a little bit off the back foot, but there's enough air under the football where Jacobson's able to go up, snag it between 2 defenders. And I like the way McElroy looks him off. Stands down, and then again he throws a perfect strike. Only his guy can get it. Goes in for the touchdown.
So much for momentum. It switches right back around, and is wearing a green jersey right now. And it took about 62 seconds.
But let's talk about this. I mean, we talked about it at the outset, Kevin. These are 2 heavyweights, man, and you're seeing some big-time plays by some big-time players with expectations on their shoulders. This is a great ball game, and the competition that you're seeing out on the field today is first-rate.
Well, McKay Jacobson had a 47-yard reception on that drive, and then the touchdown catch. There's Greg McElroy. You get the feeling, though, that this team has to be playing with so much confidence, and obviously, when you're 62-1 over 4 years, I would imagine you're gonna cross the white lines with a bit of a swagger, and that's exactly what they do.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that they expect themselves to win. They want to play at a high-level pitch, but they also want it to be under control, not where they're pressing. And you just sense a swell of confidence in this team, and quite frankly, you see it on both sides of the football. But as far as Southlake coming back, answering the bell to stretch this game out to a little bit bigger lead.
Well, Trent Hunter is back deep, along with Fuda. And it's going to be Hunter from the 4-yard line. And Hunter goes down at the 29.
Well, that's a nice special teams tackle there.
Matt Harrison.
Backup linebacker comes in, and he's able to bring the legs down, because there looked like there was quite a bit of running room if he could have been able to get by Harrison. But Harrison, the senior backup linebacker on special teams, makes a big play.
Andy Dalton brings his team out. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Southlake Carroll leading at 24-13.
Andre Dean, the tandem running back there with Brandon King, is in the ball game.
Jordan Hill is the fullback. And this 2 wide receiver set. Andre Dean right up the middle, gain of a couple of yards, but Joseph Agnew give him credit for the tackle, but the big guys up front, Adam Powers, Blake West, kind of just mucking things up in the middle, and wasn't a whole lot of room to run.
Tell you what, the fact that he even picked up 2.5 yards is impressive, because the Carroll defenders, led by Kyle Russo as well, kind of submarining down underneath that Katy offensive line. He had to step on the backs of some defenders and his offensive linemen to even pick up 1.5 yards, 2 yards.
Misdirection. Dean, another good tackle by Patrick Benoit, but it's going to be close to a first down. I think he's going to be about 1/2 yard short. Benoit was able to get a hand in there and
It's one of those speed plays. You just get your guy, see if you can outflank him, and that's exactly what they did. Misdirection and just flicks the ball out. And that's an awkward pitch and very nicely handled there by Andy Dalton as he got the ball to his running back in stride, able to pick up the first.
It was enough for a first down. Got it from the 36-yard line. Right up the middle, and that looked as though it may have been a busted play a bit as Trey Reese was there to make the stop. But I'm not sure if Andy Dalton either lost the handle to begin with on this play or went to the wrong place. See, looked like.
We got a lot of pressure too from the backside from Trey Reese. As you said, he came off the corner hot, and then he's able to reroute himself towards the ball carrier and stop him for a short gain. That's kind of hard to do. You're running full speed at one angle, and then to stop in stride and come back across your body. Nice job by Reese.
Gained less than a yard, 2nd down and 9. Fake the draw, going up top. This one should have been caught by Michael Fuda, and he knows it.
Well, I'll tell you what, that you will not see. That was a perfect ball right in the middle of the two. Fuda not able to come up with a catch, and that was one of the plays. Now you talk about adjustments at the half. Linebackers were getting underneath those passes and tipping them in the first half. Benoit not able to get underneath that one. Fuda staying outside, did a good job, just did not look the ball in.
3rd down and 9. Cornerback Scott Simpson. That's another play that was uncharacteristic on both sides because he slipped down. You're not going to see that happen very often either. Handed off up the middle. It's enough for a first down. How about that? A sprint draw on 3rd down and almost 10 yards to go for the first down, and Andre Dean picked it up.
Well, you got to go to the front 5 of this Katy offensive line. What a tremendous job they do creating a seam and getting downfield into the next level and mirroring up on those linebackers. That was a 3rd and 9.5 yards, and they're able to pick up the first down on the running play by Dean.
Ian Aludo and Brian Ferris on that left side. Joey Welch and Jacob Straka on the right side, and Cody Lepaski is the center. Play action this time. It's complete to the fullback. That's another first down and a gain of 14 yards as Jordan Hill, just his 12th catch of the season, but when he gets the football, good things happen, and Joseph Agnew was finally there to make the stop.
And Jordan Hill comes out of the backfield. He just runs a little flat route. He's got the flood down there by the wide receiver, Sam Justice, and he runs right underneath them, and you go back to the accuracy thing that they talked about with Andy Dalton. Perfect pass, led his fullback beautifully where he could catch the ball in stride and turn upfield to pick up the first down.
Counting down to 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Katy Tigers on the drive again. Pitch back, and my goodness. Justin Padron arrived in a hurry and in a foul mood, and he was there to really lay the leather.
We can hear that one all the way up here in the booth, and you can go back. We've been talking a lot about Trey Newton and what he is as a sophomore. Andre Dean, for Katy, also a sophomore. Take a listen here. Big lick there by the middle linebacker, but keep in mind that is only a sophomore running back, and as excited as the Southlake coaching staff is about Newton, that's equaled by the Katy coaching staff's excitement about Dean.
2nd down and 6, 8th play of this drive, and the longest drive thus far in the day for Katy. Straight drop to throw on the play action. It's complete, and the drive will continue. It's enough for a first down to the 25-yard line. That time it's the same combination. Scott Simpson had the coverage. Michael Fuda, though, was not going to let this one slip through his hands.
Well, we talked about this a little while ago, but early in the ball game, these linebackers were able to get underneath the passes. But watch, Fuda now is staying farther outside where you're not able to get underneath that. So he's staying out there around those numbers, and that allows Dalton the angle to get the football out to him. Nice job pitching and catching.
8th catch of the day. Quick on the inside. One of those keep you honest type plays is Jordan Hill with his first carry of the day after catching a pass with his first touch earlier in this drive. Padron, give him credit for the tackle. It's a gain of just about a half a yard. Both of these teams with so much tradition. Southlake Carroll, 16-0 last season with a state championship win over Smithson Valley. Katy, who knocked them off in 2003. Smithson Valley was the opponent in 2002, in which Southlake Carroll won their first of that great run, first 5A state championship.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense.
That'll back it up 5 yards. I think it was William Anderson.
But Kevin, you talk about the tradition of these two schools. Southlake's first year in Class 5A was 2002, in which they won the state title against Smithson Valley. So their run through 5A, as you said earlier, 62-1.
Yep.
Not too shabby.
Nope. In 4A, won state titles in 92, 93, and then back to 1988. Had a great run before that classification. That was knocked down, and it's intercepted at the 34-yard line, the third time today that the Carroll Dragons have come away with an errant pass. And who got to it?
And it looks like it's big number 42 comes up with it. Going down, Kyle
That's
Russo.
Kyle Russo,
You betcha,
yeah.
but watch Michael Boydston come here off the top. Look at him get the tip on the football. And then how alert is Kyle Russo to turn and jump and catch that football? That was outstanding play. But look at Boydston coming off the edge. We talked about him at the open. Man on a mission. Big fella's playing inspired football. 10 sacks coming into the ball game. Gets back on the quarterback. Is able to flick it away. And then Russo with the timely interception. This is hang-on time right now if you're the Katy defense.
Absolutely. McElroy is dealing a hot hand right now, and Greg McElroy this time, though, will hand it off to Trey Newton, trying to get the edge, and does. Newton could be gone. The 30, and slammed out of bounds inside the 25-yard line is Trey Newton. Boy, once he got to the corner, there was no stopping him. He picks up 40 yards.
Well, that is a very uncharacteristic play. We have seen Carroll hit the ball up the middle all day long. Now watch the running play. Designed to go to the outside. And Trey Newton just outruns the coverage and gets a nice job of blocking downfield by Smiter. Will Thompson, man on the spot, driving him out of bounds. But that was a great run by Trey Newton.
From the 24.
Yep, and you got Riley Dodge here. He's in the game. Newton on the sideline right now, taking a breather after that run.
And McElroy throwing for the end zone, and it's knocked away. And that is one beautiful football play by Morris Arnold. My goodness, couldn't have timed it any better.
He came across the top to knock the football away, and that was one of those plays. You got to love the way that he's played the ball game today. He's just been everywhere, and he's taking the inside receiver. Keep in mind, former defensive back, now playing outside linebacker. Doesn't look like he's missed many of those defensive back drills, though. Made that switch in midseason, and this Katy defense has been the better for it.
Second down and 10. Line to make is the 14-yard line. Hand it off to Newton. Trying to reverse field, and he is knocked down and knocked down hard. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. A penalty marker is down. Newton now over 100 yards rushing on that 40-yard run a moment ago. Kirchner and Morris Arnold there to make the stop.
No, when he stopped, Kevin, to change directions and bounce it back to the left is what put the illegal block in play. Nice job by the Katy defensive front to get pressure and penetration through the line of scrimmage, which forced Newton to bounce it out wider than he wanted to originally. And then when he made the cutback, they got the penalty call. It looks like Katy is going to decline it.
Absolutely.
On the offense, the penalty is declined. Third down.
That's a tremendous amount of respect for the Carroll offense to decline that penalty and deny them another down. But also tremendous confidence in your defense and knowing how well that they've been able to play in these short quarters. Now you're getting down here close to red zone area. Katy defense has been pretty good there today.
These are two great defenses, and I don't throw the word great around, but they are, in this classification, considered great defenses and overshadowed defenses. Ball's lost, and McElroy will go down. Kirchner got to him first.
Lost his helmet, wants a face mask call, but there's not a flag on the field.
I think the helmet just came up off the back of his head.
Okay, I tell you what, this is 4-down territory because the kicker for Southlake, Kyle Ortega, who hit the field goal last year to win the ball game, is out, injured. And so they're going to have to go for this on 4th and about, was it 19, 20 yards?
19 yards. So yeah, it was a headlock. It wasn't a face mask.
McElroy, the ever-present smarts, was looking to maybe draw a call there in a first down. Instead, it's 4th down and 19. Again, the line to make is the 14-yard line. Here comes the pressure. McElroy steps up, slips down, and he will go down. He lost the football, and I think it's Katy's ball, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because that was 4th down. So
well, he's going to give up about 6 yards of field position to Katy. But he did lose the football trying to make something happen. The downfield coverage was beautiful. He broke the pocket of containment here as he's going to be looking to his left to go down the field. The pocket collapses. Morris Arnold there again applying the pressure. Just loses the football as it goes down. As you said, wouldn't have mattered if there only been about a 5-yard difference in the spot.
If anything, Katy may have lost yardage on the fumble recovery because anyway, Katy gets the ball here from their own 40-yard line, trying to take advantage of one of the few Southlake Carroll mistakes. They blow the play dead. The official to the near side, the side judge.
Now, how often is it in a high school game that you can't hear the penalty or the whistle of the officials because the crowd noise is so high?
Doesn't
Not
happen
very often, and that happened on that play.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Where that penalty marker was thrown, it may have been one of the guys that were split out wide. Should be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
Well, what a great 3rd quarter we've had.
You're not kidding. Michael Fuda. And Fuda out to the 45-yard line. And that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. A 3rd quarter that got started with a 66-yard touchdown pass from Andy Dalton to Will Thompson. Then a 55-yard punt return. Katy had signs of life, but Southlake Carroll comes right back. And McKay Jacobson has this ball club up 24-13.
To talk to then Chase Wasson, who won that first state title for Todd Dodge. Now, I don't know if people know this out here. Greg McElroy, he passed your single-season touchdown mark with his last touchdown. How do you feel about that?
That's great for Greg, great for the team, and it just brings a lot more success and notoriety to Southlake, so I'm proud of him.
Now, the other Chase is Chase Daniel, who's up at Missouri, couldn't make the game today, but between the 3 of you guys, the most prolific quarterbacks ever in the state of Texas, is this kind of a system that just works for everybody, or you guys are just great quarterbacks?
I mean, the system helps, but you've got to be out on the field making plays, putting the ball on people, so I don't think you can put anyone out there and the results will happen. You've got to make the plays yourself. So
you're playing your college ball at Texas State football. You can see the logo right here. You got to make sure we get that in there. Nice little plug. You guys were in the playoffs, had a nice little run. You're going to be the quarterback probably the next 2 years. How's that going for you?
It's going great. We were starting a lot more tradition at Texas State. Got a lot of guys coming back, and we're looking forward to a great year.
Rumor has it you started this whole blonde hair thing. Is that true?
Somewhat true. We did it the year before, but I think my class made it look the best.
Blondes truly have more fun. Chase Wasson, good to see you. Now upstairs to Kevin.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, what Texas State was able to do in the 1AA playoffs, lost to Northern Iowa in the semifinals. Appalachian State went on to win that title over Northern Iowa. Here comes, that's complete. Plenty of room to run again. You go to this big fullback, and he doesn't touch it much, but when Jordan Hill does, Anthony Ford was finally there to make that stop, but out before another big gainer as the chains continue to move in this Katy Tiger offense. Continues to keep things rolling.
Well, Andy Dalton gives you exactly what you want from a senior leadership quarterback. Got pressure on him, but he stays cool in the pocket, and then he just feather touches the ball out. Second time we have seen him throw a perfect pass to the fullback. Hey, fullbacks aren't used to catching the football that much, and to hit him in stride that allows him to turn up the field, that's a tremendous asset, and Dalton has hit it twice now.
13 catch of the season, second of the day, and they've both gone for big yardage. This time it's King, and King bounces it outside. That is a quick move by Anthony Ford and Joseph Agnew there to push him out of bounds because it looked like there was a lot of room to run for Brandon King.
Well, you look at that offensive line by Katy, and we talk about them doing that zone blocking, and I like the way that they just continue to work their way downfield. It's almost like a moving wedge and passing off defenders, and moving up to the next level and getting a hat on you. Creates a lot of running seams, and if you're patient as a running back, should create a lot of opportunities for you.
2nd down and 5, 11 minutes, 20 seconds to go in this ball game. Hand it off to King. And King was going to be very close to a 1st down. I want to remind you that you can get your DVD of today's game or last week's 5A Division I game with Euless, Trinity, and Converse Judson. I invite you to visit the website, gametapes.com. You can get it for $19.99 each. Get gametapes.com.
Well, he gets the 1st down by the nose of the football. Brandon King steps out just a hair over the 1st down marker.
So from the 25-yard line. First down and 10. Andy Dalton under center. Now they're banging it out inside again, and it's Brandon King who takes it ahead. Adam Powers there to make that stop. Just 5'10", 245 pounds.
Well, the guys for Katy up front are big, and they are physical, and this is kind of the way that they like to play. It's a punishing style running game. It's what they built their reputation on, and it's what they've done, Kevin, to get to 4 state championships in the last several years. But you take a look at what they do offensively, they really want to mash and pound you. And then this year, they've had the benefit of coming up with some outstanding special teams or skill position players.
King to the left, got some great blocks and got outside. He's going to be close to another Katy 1st down. Again, Joseph Agnew there to make that stop. But boy, he was an eyelash away from taking that one to the bluegrass.
You bet we're talking about this offensive line. Take a look at they move downfield and they pass off to the next level, creating seams. And if Agnew doesn't make that tackle, it was like Brandon King was going to be able to get into the end zone. So nice job up front. Well, look at that attendance record.
29,940 today.
And they're seeing quite a ball game. Definitely getting their money's worth.
1st and 10 from the 14. 10th play of the drive. Dalton, throwback screen, complete. But it's going to be a short gain, and that was a...
Well, Michael Boydson, Kevin, read that play perfectly. They're trying to sneak Logan Madden out there on a little naked boot, throwing the ball back over the top. But take a look here. Here's Logan going to go out for the pass. Look at Boydson. He reads that. He goes up, just not able to get his fingertips on the football. Very close to catching that, and then the ability to turn around and run that play down from the backside. Says a lot about that guy.
As well as you could throw. Talk about Andy Dalton, too, with that touch. Just able to get it over the outstretched hands of big Michael Boydson, who goes 6'2", 250 pounds. Here's 2nd down and 9. Try King again. There's just too much push from those green jerseys up front.
Well, Kyle Russo did a fantastic job from that defensive end position, Kevin. He did not give up any ground, and he kept that outside leverage, the inside shoulder in, outside leverage, did not allow any push, and he forced that play to go out of bounds. That was a great play by the young man. Only a junior, but look how well he fights through there, and he keeps that offensive line from being able to get a push and create a running lane.
Well, that's 2 consecutive plays to the very short side of the field for Katy.
Well, that first one was a little bit of trickery.
Yeah,
I mean, they were trying to sneak Logan Madden, the tight end, out on something there and see if they couldn't make something happen.
Went right back to that short side, though. 3rd down and 9. Dalton being chased and goes down. Justin Padron. And now you not only have to look at a 4th down, but that sack.
Well, that definitely takes you a little bit further out.
Not out of field goal range, but certainly looking at it now, almost a 42-yarder.
Look at Justin Padron, the patience. That's a little bit of a delayed blitz. He let those linemen start to feather out, create seams, and he just comes crashing right down the middle. Dalton never had a chance. Defensive coordinator Ron Mendoza, he's an attack defensive kind of guy, and he definitely dialed it up right there. And Lewis now on for a 47-yard field goal.
Well within his range. It'll be a 40-yarder. I beg your pardon. So you're looking right at 40 yards here. He's hit from 48 this year. And did he push it right or did it get in? Nope, they missed it.
A little bit of a surprise there, Kevin, because he has just been perfect on his extra point attempts in this ball game.
It was a chance for Katy to get to within one possession of Southlake Carroll. Instead, it's a 9-point game. Our Dairy Queen big game of the week game summary is Carroll leads at 24-13, an 11-point lead. I said 9 just a moment ago. 11-point lead. But, you know, those 3 Katy turnovers have really, one came in the end zone, one came at the end of a long drive. McElroy with a big day today, a 55-yard punt return and a 66-yard touchdown reception so far in this game for Will Thompson, and that has been the offense for this Katy Tiger team.
Well, Carroll had a 17-play drive early in this ballgame that led to a field goal, and they certainly want to put another one of those on the board right now.
Ray Newton up the middle, and Newton a punishing run out for a gain of 10 as Don Bishop was on the end of that run. And well, this is, keep in mind, folks, this is just a sophomore running with the football.
But take a look at the white jerseys and arm tackles that he leaves behind him. And I mean, this kid is something special and going to be something special, but you cannot bring him down with an arm tackle.
There's a discussion with the officials as to exactly where the spot is, as to whether or not it was a first down. Like he got right near. They're going to measure it.
You know, we could talk about this Carroll offense a little bit more on the play clock. The fact that they don't go into the huddle, that the plays do get called from the sideline, they will still work clock. So they'll sit there, they'll wait, and they'll make the defense get in their alignment, show their hand, their alignment, what they're going to do, and then this play will get called. It may even get changed once, sometimes as many as 2, and even in rare instances 3 times. But you will see the play clock run down.
You know, we're talking with the defensive coordinator, Greg Miller, and you see it's short by that much. Greg Miller from Katy, and he said, you know, it's just so difficult because they'll sit there and look at, you know, you come out there and you line up defensively, and then they just look at you. Right. And you know, you say, I'm going to stop this, they run that. You say, I'm going to stop that, then they run this. And he said that's what makes it so difficult. The big reason why those numbers are the way they are for this Todd Dodge-led program. Now, keep in mind, it's not just here lately that Southlake Carroll has been able to take care of business. This is a second down and about an inch, and plenty more. Trey Newton with downfield blocking, and Newton inside the 20.
Still on his feet.
My goodness, what a run. Will Thompson finally knocking him off his feet, but not before another big gain for number 22. Trey Newton, a 49-yard run.
Well, we talked about it a second ago, but you are not going to bring this young man down with an arm tackle. He is too elusive, too strong, and too fast. The kid is a freshman, ran a 10-800 meters, and he just refuses to go down. You're not going to go down by an arm tackle. Outstanding individual effort there by Trey Newton. You see why he averages. Yeah, you see why the average is an 8 yard to carry on the rush.
More than 10 today. Going for the back of the end zone, instead threw it away. That was great coverage by Will Thompson. Evan Fentress couldn't get loose. It's second down at 10. It's a young man who waited his turn. Like you said, Shea played on the 7th grade B team, the 8th grade B team, then on the 9th grade team. You know, when he's finally gotten his chance, he has been able to take advantage of it. Greg McElroy is going to turn that into a scholarship at Texas Tech. McElroy looking downfield, throw and almost intercepted. That could have been a huge play for Katy.
I tell you what, here with all of the momentum and running clock and needing to chew clock, now we've seen Southlake come with 2 incomplete passes, stopping the clock. And again, you got down in the scoring zone, but keep in mind, we talked about it, Kyle Ortega out. The long field goal is 36 yards for the Southlake Carroll team.
Tyler Miller was there to apply the pressure for Greg McElroy.
Big third down for the Katy defense. They need to stop.
Instead, they hand it inside to Newton, and Newton, he got the first down, I believe. It's going to be a matter. He's just short.
No, his right foot went out, but how heady of a play.
Yeah, great effort.
My goodness. I mean, here's a guy, we could rave about it a little bit more, but only a sophomore. And you see the maturity that he has, and you have a good reason why. He got a couple uncles played in the NFL, son of Nate Newton, but he just puts the ball out is where he steps and gets the foot. That was an outstanding effort to try to pick up the first down.
But it's 4th down and a good 2.5 yards short of the first down. But we're talking with coaches this week, and then we asked questions about how you describe a young man, and one of the first things he said about Trey Newton was he is an incredibly mature young man.
Yeah, something special.
Key word being young. He's 15 years old. Been around it a long time though. And now Ryan Murray. It could be a huge play here. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Murray makes it a 14-point game, 27-13. With 7 minutes, 52 seconds to go. It's the 5A Division II Texas Bowl from Texas Stadium. A busy day for Trey Newton, and his team leads at 27-13 with 7:52 to go in the 5A Division II Texas Bowl. Well, you can get your DVD of today's game or last week's 5A Division I Texas Bowl when Euless Trinity knocked off Converse Jets. You go to GameTapes.com. They're $19.99 each. That's GameTapes.com.
But Kevin, that was a huge field goal by Ryan Murray. We talk about kicker Kevin Ortega not in the game today, who was, I guess, stopped playing right around the playoffs as they started. So for Murray to come in and hit that field goal, that was huge.
And there have been some guys, you talk about Ortega, also Clint Renfro, who's played basically one play in this game. He's been out with injuries as well for Southlake Carroll, but right now they are 7 minutes and 45 seconds away from yet another state championship, as Derek Tomlin was there to make that stop. But look what Katy's done here in the second half. A 66-yard touchdown pitch and catch on the opening drive. They score here on the second as well, but then a pick and a missed field goal in the last 2 possessions.
Well, you look about the quick strike offense that they have too. You see right here where they scored in 6 plays. They're 10 points, and then here they've made some big drives, gained big yards, and a lot of plays, but no points.
Yeah, nothing at all to show about it, or show for it, except for taking time off the clock. Right up the middle, bruising runner is Andre Dean. He's a good combination of big, strong, and fast. He's going to be around for a long time to come. He too, as we said, also a sophomore. Padron made the stop.
Well, he's got some lower his shoulder in him, doesn't he? Take a look at this as he gets to the point of attack. He runs right over the top. Sam Stevenson, backup defensive lineman, was in there scrumming it up a little bit, but as he spun around, he got run right over the top by Andre Dean.
And you got to look both ways before crossing that street. You'll get run over, and that's exactly what happened. Try it again. This time, Dean running downhill to the 35-yard line where it should be very close to a first down. Now, at what point, I mean, I know Katy goes inside and then inside again. At what point do you start looking and say to yourself, we got to have 2 scores and we got 7 minutes left in the game?
Yeah, but let's go back to Cypress Falls game. 2 games ago for this Katy team, they were trailing by 11, as you said, late in the 4th quarter, and they were able to come back, and they scored with 31 seconds left on the clock. So there is no hurry up and no panic. They're going to do what they do and see if they can hit you for the big one.
It's 3rd down and about a foot to go for the first down. That is a dangerous play, and that is why when you hand it off that deep in the backfield and you only need a half a yard, Justin Padron was there to blow that play up.
But he was. Big Mike Boydson, though, 6'2", 250. He's in the backfield, which makes the running back have to stutter step a little bit, not able to get the first down.
It's 4th down. And now the clock continues to run.
Well, Michael Boyson was the guy that got in there first to knock down and blow up the run blocking. And then the rest of that Carroll front 4 were able to finish off the running back before he could pick up the first.
Dalton this time, though, will take it ahead and get the first down, which, you know, now they've probably lost about 25 seconds in that process of not running the quarterback sneak on that last play.
And I tell you, he didn't get it by much, even though the spot looks good. You see where he unfolds from the pile, and he is about half a ball length over where the 4th down marker was.
You're not kidding.
Now, the offensive lineman got a good push up there, but Dalton is down just barely over that first down marker.
Katy with the ball, 5.5 minutes to go, trailing by 14. Hand off again on the delay. And didn't quite get to the 40-yard line. A 4-yard gain. Benoit made the stop on Andre Dean. Adam Powers also in on that tackle as well. But the clock continues to run.
Well, one of the things that we featured in the open was all of the mind-boggling stats on offense. But we talked about both of these teams defensively, how good they play. And this run defense for Southlake Carroll is better than it has been in previous years.
Going downfield, and it's picked off. Dalton with a tough day, another interception, and he was looking for his receiver to turn back in, and that's where he threw it.
He and Bobby Harris were not on the same page. Bobby Harris broke out. Andy Dalton threw in. Here's Harris here, and watch him. He's going to run out, and the throw is going to come right back over the top. Agnew, look, kind of slings it out there, and he just lets go of the football a little high right into the arms of Agnew.
Beg your pardon, it was Ashlock.
I'm sorry, yeah, Trevor Ashlock. But for all of the accuracy and all of the great plays that we have seen Andy Dalton make in today's ball game and all year, that was one he'd really like to have back.
Yeah, Ashlock, that's his first interception of the season. Agnew's already got 2 today. Third time today they have been able to intercept the usually very accurate Andy Dalton. And this is one of those situations too, and this is the difference, and something I think if you haven't seen the Southlake Carroll Dragon offense play, this is not run and shoot in 30-second possessions if you got 3 and out. They can run the ball and grind it a little bit on you, as well as what you've seen from a guy today that's going to be approaching 200 yards rushing.
And missed 2.5 games and still rushed for close to 1,200 yards on the season.
1188 coming into this game. Be over 1,300 by the time the game is over. McElroy takes it ahead. And you see what McElroy does, too. If there's any chance of taking that outside, he cut right back against the grain to make sure he stayed right around the numbers because he wasn't going anywhere close to the sideline.
Very heads-up play by the senior. And you talk about it, and we talked about him and his patience and what he's done on this Southlake Carroll team. And you said he played his way into a scholarship, and it really paid off. And it makes you really feel good about a kid like that who's kind of bided his time, and in 1 year hits the D1 radar screen big enough to get a scholarship offer. That's great.
Texas 5A Offensive Player of the Year. Southlake Carroll on 3rd down and 5. They've missed on their last 3 attempts to convert. They won't miss here. McKay Jacobson has it, takes it down to the 35-yard line where Will Thompson made the stop, and we're down to 3 minutes and 24 seconds to go.
Well, that was a monster 3rd down conversion for Southlake Carroll. And the big boys up front are, again, giving him time. He locks on to Jacobson the whole time, and he shows you how important that play was. He did not even look off to any other receiver. Locks on to Jacobson, who was man-covered by Will Thompson. Waits patiently because the offensive line gave him enough time to throw the football and make that 3rd down conversion.
Well, that offensive line, I should say, the job they've done. This, just as I say that, the defense comes up big. It's Zwirnman John Zwirnman making that stop there, number 38. But Bryce Buford, the man in the middle, you know, the people will tell you that Bryce Buford may be the leader of this, not only the offense, but the entire team. He's the center. He's the son of Maury Buford, the former punter for the Chicago Bears. Justin Drescher, Aaron Stacy, those guards. Chris Swanson and Michael Prince, the all-state tackle. They're the ones that give Greg McElroy the amount of time he needs to throw the football. Next year they'll be trying to do the same for Riley Dodge. But all of these guys will be gone. It's a senior-laden offensive line. Going up top, has a step, and it's caught. Evan Fentress for the score. Konishek had the coverage, got turned around, and Evan Fentress for the 14th time this season, and that could very well seal the deal.
Kevin, the accuracy and the arm strength. Take a look here. Watch it. This is nothing but a go route, and he's going to run down. And watch the touch that McElroy throws the football. He's going to throw it on the splash out here. Gets it outside far enough, just over the top of Konishek. Konishek had good coverage. He was right there in front of him, but the ball was thrown to the outside of the receiver, and that allowed Fentress to go up and bring down the ball for the touchdown.
4th touchdown catch of the day. 5A record, 56th touchdown pass of the season. And that young man right there, Evan Fentress, moved from the Lake Highlands area to Southlake in January, walked in his coach's office.
What a great story, huh?
Coach, I wanted just an opportunity to play football for you. Went out in the spring, and Todd Dodge said, my goodness, we had no idea.
Well, that was the thing. When Todd was talking to us on the conference call, he said, you know, here's a guy, I'm come back from vacation in January, and here's a kid sitting in my office, and he's very polite, kind of humble, very quiet, not saying a whole lot, doesn't have a highlight tape of himself or anything like that, doesn't have his agent sitting with him.
And didn't have anybody from Lake Highlands call or tell anybody about him?
Hey, my parents are moving out here, and I want to see if I can play football on your team. And like Todd said, when he got him out there in spring training, he started lighting it up. He said, hey, we have something here.
34-13. Well, the Blondes are having more fun today. McElroy with 4 touchdown passes. You get the sense that feel a little bit of relief. And knowing that yet another state championship is just about 2.5 minutes away. Todd Dodge, great high school player at Port Arthur Jefferson High School, and then on to play quarterback at the University of Texas. And what he's done with this program, nothing short of amazing.
Yeah, it's been tremendous. You think Katy doesn't know what time it is in this ball game. Will Thompson is back deep. Not going to get an opportunity to return the kick, but Will Thompson, Michael Fuda, 2 of your star players are back there returning kicks because they've been successful in busting long plays.
Yeah, it was a smart play too, though. There you see Thompson
I'd kick it away from him too.
Yeah. I mean, you kick it, let it roll down there, and the big guys don't want to mess with it, so comes out to the 27-yard line, no damage done, and now you're looking at making a team go nearly 70 yards. And they don't have a whole lot of time to do it.
Now you got to get 3 scores here. You got to start taking some shots.
Well, this is complete to Thompson, and Thompson taking his shot, taking it out to the 37-yard line. It's going to be short of a first down as Scott Simpson knocks him out of bounds to stop the clock with 2 minutes and 26 seconds remaining.
And you got to believe that Ron Mendoza and this Carroll defense are all too happy to keep it in front of them. You can complete all the short balls you want to right now to make you methodically move it down the field and chew up the clock. Keep in mind, Katy still has all 3 of their timeouts left. As long as they're able to get out of bounds, they don't need to use them.
Well, Dalton's thrown for more yards here in the second half, and he has thrown the 2 interceptions. That's what it's all about right now. That and a whole lot of bragging rights. Right up the middle goes Dalton, and Dalton out to the 42-yard line. Justin Padron made the stop. For the first time in a long time, the Dallas area Metroplex looking for a sweep of the 2 highest classifications. Hebron will be going at it in the 4A game, but after last week, and Euless Trinity taking care of business at Highland Park, it can be done.
Salina's kind of in the area, sneaking around, making a little noise.
That one is complete, steps out of bounds, is Justice. That's his first catch of the day. Sam Justice, 6 foot, 165-pound senior. Just his 9th catch of the season. It comes and stops the clock with 2:01 to play. Tough day for that young man after a phenomenal season. A season that make the argument that no quarterback at Katy has ever enjoyed like it. Up the middle they go, and just strong to get to the boundary and get out of bounds was Brandon King, and that will stop the clock with 1:55 left as Padron was the man who was hanging on for dear life, and he went for a ride as Brandon King was headed to that sideline.
Really impressed with Brandon King and the leg strength coming into the game. 1,400 yards rushing. And take a look at the history of Katy and what they have done, and the ability to keep reloading. And for this man right here, Gary Joseph, to keep the trend alive, as Mike Johnston said earlier, being interviewed by Rick, he's the perfect guy to step into that job.
22 seasons as a defensive coordinator for Mike Johnston.
He's had a tremendous year.
And right up the middle they go, and this time it's a nice gainer, but you got to start looking at the clock, and that's exactly what they're doing, is to get it down to the 40-yard line. Trevor Ashlock made that stop.
Like I said, defensively, you just want to make Katy grind it out. Don't give up the big, long ball, quick score. Make them methodically move the ball down the field.
Dalton throwing this one, and it's caught on the marker and out of bounds at the 29-yard line. As he stepped out of bounds, I should say. That's Michael Fuda who made that catch. Again, they'll move the chains with 1:26 remaining. Trailing by 21 points, 34-13. Southlake Carroll Dragons with the big lead. 2004, Southlake went 16-0. 15-1 in 03 as they lost the Texas Bowl to these Katy Tigers. The last time that they've lost a football game. 02, they went 16-0 and knocked off Smithson Valley. Looking for yet another state championship. Hand this one off from the shuttle pass. Thompson taking it down close to the 25-yard line. There you're looking at our State Farm Player of the Game. She's got a lot to be proud of.
Well, I'll tell you what, he has had a heck of a ball game, and you go back to the senior leadership and the maturity and what he has gone through as a young man in this program, and he's been lighting it up all ball game. Take a look here, Kevin. Throws that first ball right on the numbers of Corden Smiter for the touchdown. Then you see the touch and the accuracy, finding Smiter again down the middle of the field deep for yet another score. And then I love this pass right here out to Jacobson. Threw it right between two defenders. Jacobson able to come down with a touchdown, and again, you talk about accuracy and pinpoint placement. Throws it on the outside shoulder of Evan Fentress, comes down with the catch for the touchdown. He's had a heck of a ball game.
Well, they call it the Deja Vu Tour, and they're doing it all over again, that's for sure. It's a program that won a 4A state championship in 88, 92, and 93. And go back before that from 1986 to 1993 to give you just a taste of the rich history and tradition of this Southlake Carroll program. They went 1-12-5-1 during that stretch from 86 to 93, including 7 undefeated regular seasons in that span.
So as they slowly progressed up the enrollment ladder, and now in 5A and have been their 4th season in 5A, and getting ready to put the finishing touches on their 3rd state championship in those 4 years.
And Dalton will go down to the 25-yard line.
Got to use a timeout here. Dalton very alertly gets up and calls it.
Michael Boydston.
Clock's still moving.
Yeah, I think point right now. Watch Todd Dodge. Okay, you want to keep that. He and Riley, and it'll be a little different for that combo next year. There you're looking right there, young man, the 4th straight year in which, with McElroy, the 5A Offensive Player of the Year has been a Southlake Carroll quarterback.
Depending on the play, Drew wins it.
Nice father-son moment there.
Could it be the number 5 and 6? If it is for 5 and 6 straight years, it'll be that young man right there, Riley Dodge, who will take over next year at quarterback. It's amazing what he's been able to do. And Todd Dodge will point at these young men. These young men will point right back at this coaching staff.
There's really a great chemistry on here. Todd had on his staff a couple of men that he coached when he was an assistant at North Texas who've now gone on to head coaching jobs.
Throwing this one, and it's complete. Michael Fuda inside the 10-yard line down to the 9 with 29 seconds remaining to stop the clock. Scott Simpson had the coverage.
Talk about still coaching. Take a look at Gary Joseph over there. He is down past the 25-yard line saying, I want a timeout. I want a timeout. Give it to me now.
Well, the national championship might be mythical, but the state championship is all too real.
And you talk about the run of both of these teams this year, Kevin, and it has just been a tremendous, as you said, when the bracket came out, when you saw the big school, small school breakdown, everybody was saying Katy Southlake would be a great final, and it has been a great final.
It's been a great game. It's been a game that is really, you've always had that sense that it was closer than 21 points. I mean, it's, when you look
there's no doubt. Katy has played much better than that.
Absolutely. What they have had the problems with Gary Joseph's team is the turnovers, and they, like I said, when you throw an interception in the end zone, when you throw an interception at about the 10-yard line, I mean, those are real deal breakers as far as being able to put points on the board. And that's been the problem today. But Andy Dalton, I mean, how much more can you say? The guy's thrown 42 touchdown passes this season.
Well, he's had a tremendous game today, and I'll even go back on some of those interceptions. There's probably 2 balls. He's thrown 4, but there's 2 balls that, that could have gone either way, and he was trying to give his guy an opportunity to make a play. He's had an all right ball game.
Tigers looking at keep fighting, throwing into the end zone. They do, and it's just off the fingertips of Michael Fuda. So now 24 seconds remaining. You know, when these guys, it just occurred to me, when these guys are older and have kids of their own, they're going to look back at their pictures sitting around the Christmas tree, and their kids are going to wonder why every year they had blonde hair. Because they were still playing football games.
Started the Christmas break by playing in the state championship game.
That one incomplete, so it'll be 3rd down coming up with 22 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's a tough day for Andy Dalton. He's got brighter days ahead of him, though. He, too, playing himself into a scholarship position at TCU. Awfully glad to have him there in Conference USA.
Thrown for 236 yards today.
And he's showing you something, too, with the touch passes. He's done a good job getting it out to the fullback and stuff. I go back to the defensive pressure. That is really the difference. This Southlake defense has been tremendous all year, and they dialed it up big again today.
Well, they handed off to King inside, and King short of that 5-yard line. And so
Gary Joseph again running down to the field, gets to the 25-yard line, signaling he wants a timeout. He wants another score for his team.
For his team, for his seniors. These coaches obviously having so much to do with not with what these young men are as people right now, but also what they will be later on in life. And that young man right there got a good start on it. Will Thompson. I want to take a moment to send out the best wishes to the family of Ronnie Bell, the athletic director at the A-Leaf School District, who passed away a couple of weeks ago. And good guy that will be missed. And we just want to take a moment to let the family know that.
Well, take a look at this, Kevin.
Thinking about him.
All classifications here in number of titles. Southlake Carroll now 6 titles. Making a mark on the landscape of high school football.
Yep. 6. Along right there with Converse Judson, certainly.
And Ron Mendoza, defensive coordinator. Coach Todd Dodge.
This is a 4th down and goal. Dalton looking for the end zone, and he got in there. And how about that? You talk about some guts. Michael Boydston hit him, but Andy Dalton, that is one heck of a way to end your career if you can't end it on a win. You keep fighting and you get into the end zone, and that's just what he did.
Now, the bootleg was beautifully covered, trying to find Logan Madden to tie it in on the boot. Here's Madden. You're going to see him release out. But take a look at Dalton. Once he makes up his mind, there's absolutely no stopping. He does a pump fake, and then dives right between 3 defenders to get into the first down. You saw Boydston back there. He was back in pass coverage, couldn't come up and stop Dalton from getting into the end zone.
And the point after. And it's good with 6 seconds remaining. So the celebration delayed just a little bit. Is Andy Dalton. He's not here to celebrate. He's here to win a football game. That's not going to happen today, but that man right there, his team was going to fight to the very end.
And that's what they coach. And you know what Gary Joseph is doing, which is such a beautiful thing at the high school level. He's instilling into his team, I don't care what it is, if there is time on the clock, we're going to play it out, and we're going to play to win the football game. And that's exactly what this team did. And hey, Ron Mendoza on the other side, you see him and some of the staff congratulating each other. Brilliant last defensive series, right? I mean, he did a great job. He just kept the ball in front, made them chip it away, use up all the clock. They got in and scored. Hey, they're still going to go up by 2 scores.
And what you look at too is that early in this second half, Katy scored or had the
10 unanswered.
The long touchdown pass completion to Will Thompson, and then it came right back with a 55-yard punt return by Thompson. But you had that feeling that the momentum had changed, and right then, what does the Carroll Dragons do? They snap off a 3-play drive. They go 79 yards in 3 plays and took a minute 2 off the clock. And here's the onside kick, and it is recovered.
Katie's going to have
by Katy.
One more shot down the field.
4 seconds left.
Is that Will Thompson?
Yes, it was.
Coming up with the football.
Who else?
Oh, man.
Who else?
We said he does everything. And keep in mind, too, Kevin, he's not listed as the backup quarterback. But in the event that something were to go wrong with Andy Dalton today, the staff said, hey, look, we've got Nick Barrios who's back there, but depending on what stage of the game we're in, we could even put Will Thompson back there. So he even plays a little bit of quarterback. Does it all for that Katy team.
Well, Hebron and Salina will play tonight, but it could be a Metroplex sweep as far as the top 2 classifications are concerned. Hebron playing on the 4A level. Carroll and Euless Trinity on the 5A level. Highland Park has already taken care of business in the 4A Division 1 state championship.
Southlake Carroll has 9 defenders on the field.
I think maybe the celebration.
The other guys are over there high-fiving each other. It's like, hey, play left.
And I'm just saying, if you got it, you folks have got to get back so I can figure out who's on the field and who's not.
I need 11 guys on defense to get out here. Ron Mendoza looks out there. He saw he had 3 guys at the line of scrimmage. He had 3 guys about 10 yards off, and then another 3. Not quite the way you want to design it up if you're the defensive coordinator.
Well, there's 4 seconds left in the game. Southlake Carroll leading 34-20.
Hey, what a ride.
Boy, you're not kidding.
What a ride.
Outscoring their opponents 46-18 in the playoffs. They averaged 50 points per game in the regular season, but like Todd Dodge said at halftime and told everybody all week, anybody that ever watches this team will tell you that the defense is the absolute backbone of this ball club. And defense played huge today.
All right, there's 11 defenders on the field now.
And Dalton goes down on the final play of the game. And the dynasty continues.
It's back-to-back state championship victories for Southlake Carroll, both in this stadium and against 2 extremely quality opponents. Smithson Valley last year. Hey, it was interesting. We were talking to Coach Dodge on a conference call, and he talked about the tradition that Smithson Valley and Katy have. In that he knows that he has, but he said when you line up and you play against those guys, you know you're going to get their best shot. And they did today. And you see him there giving congratulations to Will Thompson.
Another state championship for the Southlake Carroll Dragons. They win it today 34-20. One of the great things about high school football is you see young men standing, walking by and congratulating one another. Be a day that these young seniors will never forget, whether you win or lose.
Well, you talk about two great teams, two extremely well-coached football teams in a great football game, and with the ebbs and the flows and the momentum of this game, and all Southlake Carroll are second, all Katy for the others. It's just been a tremendous ball game.
Southlake Carroll, state champions in 3 out of the last 4 years as we head down to the field for the trophy presentation.
All right, thank you guys. Todd Dodge, state champion 3 out of the last 4 years. Here with UIL Athletics Director Dr. Charles Bright up in the ceremony.
Todd, this doesn't get old hat, I know, but a great job. Not only you're a true champion, but a fine human being. We appreciate all you do for high school football. Congratulations to the Carroll Dragons, state champions once again.
Dr. Bright, thank you so much, and it's good to accept it from another boy from Southeast Texas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Todd, you know, you look at this, you've won 3 of these in the last 4 years. Does it get any sweeter?
No, it doesn't, because they just get tougher, because the bullseye gets bigger, the opponents get tougher, and I'm just so proud of this bunch. So much pressure, you know, on a bunch of kids that really want to get something done in a town that has high expectations.
What is that like, living with that, #1 all year like that?
I'll tell you, the one thing that we have in our field house is we have a lot of love for one another, our kids and coaches, and kind of watch each other's back. There's been some adversity along the way. I just got through talking with Ron Mendoza, my great friend, and we've been wearing yellow armbands for Charlie Stalkup ever since he passed away. And this game against Katy 2 years ago was the last game that Charlie ever coached, and this one's a real special one for some members of our coaching staff.
A little revenge, you know, Will Thompson, he gave you fits in that game back then, did again today. I know you talked to him after the game. What did you say to Will?
I just told Will Thompson he's a great football player. He's a warrior. They have nothing to be ashamed of. They keep their heads high. The Katy Tigers are a tremendous program. Got a lot of class kids, a lot of class coaches.
Katy comes out at halftime, the big drive. He had the touchdown there. What about your kids and how they were able to regroup after them coming out at halftime like that, Hart?
Well, you know, you just can't let your guard down, especially with guys like him on the field. He's a playmaker. Like I said before, he's a warrior. I'm just glad the way our kids responded. We knew that they were going to come back at us. We've had adversity this year, and every time we've had it, we've stepped up.
Your quarterback, Greg McElroy, set a record today, the most prolific touchdown passer ever in the state of Texas. What did he mean to you today? 4 touchdowns.
I'm just so proud of that young man. You know, in today's society, it seems like that, if you don't get your way early, you transfer, and he waited his turn. He played behind a player of the year last year, and he kept on. A tremendous young man, great quarterback. He's got a great future ahead of him, and just a tremendous leader for our football team.
What kind of party is it going to be like for you tonight in Southlake?
Well, it's going to be nice. Coaching staff's coming to my house. We'll have a good time.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much.
State
Appreciate
champs
it.
For the 3rd time in the last 4 years. Up to you, Kev.
All right, 34-20, the final score, and congratulations. Yep, Blondes did have more fun today. The 2005 5A Division II state champion, the Southlake Carroll Dragons. We'll be back to wrap things up from Texas Stadium in just a moment.